What's going on, guys? It's your boy Beats by Ash, and we are back on this beautiful Monday morning. All right, there we go. Should be good to go. Let me go ahead and pull up this tab real quick. So this was a very eventful weekend. Friday through Sunday, we had the MTG World Championships. I made a couple of videos on the featured drafts and just doing a review over those picks. So if you want to see those, they're available now on YouTube as well as Rumble. If you want to get a better insight on how these high-level players are drafting in Duskmorn Draft. There was also a UFC event on Saturday, one of the best cards in a while in Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, it was during the daytime, so it was a little bit less hype. But that was a banger main event. Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria. What a fight, man. That was a blast. And then also yesterday, we had probably the craziest rally in the history of America, with many, many famous, beloved people going on to speak for Donald Trump. We had Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil was a big one. We also had Robert Kennedy Jr., a favorite of mine. Very, very long time favorite. Tucker Carlson. A lot of big speeches that went very, very hard. And then we also had Hulk Hogan. I forgot about that. Probably the highlight of the weekend was the picture that was shot on the sidelines outside of the camera in the back room, where Hulk Hogan was arm wrestling Donald Trump. I mean, that is just one of the most iconic photos of the year, like hands down. But that was honestly awesome. I actually wish I could have went to that because it just looked insane. And they had the guy who made the song New York, New York, and that was insane. I didn't even know that guy was still alive. But that was a banger. But I'm going to try to hop into a couple Duskmorn drafts, depending on how much time we have. I'm going to try to work on recording some more matches with my Golgari Reanimator deck, because I want to put out a video on that deck because I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think I'm going to order the cards in person. And I think I've gotten a little bit of a better insight from seeing what has been played at the World Championships. Because I think my deck does really good versus mid-range. It's just really bad against people who have that Tranquil Frillback guy. Yo, what's up, Key? How are you doing today, brother? Honestly, the highlight of the World Championships for me was seeing Kai Buddha in his Win It In match make it to the top 8. I thought that from his, first of all, that was probably the most goated match of the entire tournament. Last year's previous world champion, probably a top 5 person in the world, versus the best person of all time, a person who literally has less than a year to live, likely, coming back to win a Win It In match by getting double cut down to end up in specifically 8th place. I don't think that could have been more climactic, because I just don't really think that watching Magic Pro play is that exciting, but that was exciting. Kai Buddha is a legend of the game. I don't think anyone in any card game will ever do what he did again. I think it's physically impossible at this point because people are too widely given information via the internet. To win 7 Pro Tours is literally ridiculous. And just to do that all within a time span and then come back when you are about to die and get another top 8 at Worlds, a person who has topped a premier event in literally 4 decades, that's fucking insane. That's literally crazy. And then also they had that, one other thing I thought was pretty crazy was they had that vintage cube draft where the people who were in it got to keep the cards. I don't know if anybody checked that out, but that was pretty interesting. What I thought was kind of like sus about it was that, like, I guess this dad and his son both qualified for that event, and they randomly, randomly sat themselves next to each other, like the organizers did. And it kind of made the draft weird because you could tell that they were like, there were plenty of opportunities where they had the chance to like screw each other over by like hate drafting a card, but because they're father and son, they didn't. And the son opened 3 pieces of power. He had a Mox Jet, he had a Time Walk, and an Ancestral Recall. Not to mention that he got a Snapcaster Mage and like 3 other ways to be able to like easily loop the Time Walk. But the fact that he got that, and then his dad opened the Black Lotus, and I think there was 6 pieces of power open total, and I think he might have got a Time Twister too. So they got like 5 out of 6 of the power opened, and just in the kid's perspective of having the Time Walk and like multiple ways to reuse it, he not only was taking the money draft pick, it also just genuinely made his deck way better than everyone else at the table, and he ended up winning. And the way that it worked was that, like, after they have the tournament, you keep all the cards that you drafted specifically, and they're already, like, winning, you know, in life. It didn't matter who won the tournament. They got 4 out of 6 pieces of power. After that happens, they go in order of who got first to last, and they each get to pick a card from the cards that were not opened in the draft. I think that was around like 250 cards. And after that happens, and each person picks 1 card from the undrafted cards, the winner just gets everything. And so like the kid and the dad basically just made off with more money than whoever was going to get first place at the World Championships. And I just think that's fucking insane. It seemed kind of fishy just the way that it went down. Like, I don't know if they just knew someone at Wizards or whatever, but like to be seated right next to each other and then open all of the power, that's ridiculous. All right, welcome to another Duskmorn draft on the channel. We've had quite a bit of time with this format, and I'm still enjoying it, which is something that is not always the case. But coming off of a World Championship weekend, it just got me more excited to draft this format again, and we are starting off with a banger, one of my favorites to play with, Threats Around Every Corner. This is really one of the cooler build-arounds in the set, just really opening up your options to be able to play potentially a 4-color deck and whatever rares are passed to you in any respective color. There's also a Paranormal Analyst, which is just objectively like slightly worse. Okay, this pack is a lot less exciting. Doomsday Excruciator, which I still have not gotten to play with because if white is open, the Reanimator stuff isn't open for me. And if the Reanimator stuff is open, white is not open. It's kind of like a curse for me in this format. I guess I'm going to go with this Monstrous Emergence because I don't even think that the best card in this pack is really better than this card, which is really sad because this is pick 2. And at least this card is in the same color I'm starting in, so I do feel kind of bad about first picking this, though, because sometimes these just go around the table like candy. Oh my gosh, there's a Coco. Do we have to do the Coco thing? Honestly, I don't know how easy it is to go Coco. Like, I could build around it, but I feel like building around it just genuinely makes our deck bad, right? It's not terrible, but, like, I have to make my deck entirely based around, like, 3 drops, right? I mean, what else is in this pack? There's a Shroud Stomper, which is, like, okay. But I think this card is fine. I mean, I guess if we're hitting at least 1 creature and doing that at instant speed, it seems cool. You know what? We haven't played with this card. We'll do it for fun. So now we really want 3 drops. Or 2 drops. Which is kind of weird because in green decks, you really don't want to have more than like 12 creatures. Because like, you want to have a lot of cards that allow you to manifest dread, and not all of those are creatures. This is another underwhelming pack. It's like I could take the trap in the screen, and like white actually seems kind of good if you're making a Coco deck. But white is also just really bad with green. So I guess I'll just take this 2-drop. We're starting off with 4 green cards. That seems pretty legit. I feel like this card is really good with Coco. There's also a red-green land or a blue-black land. Or there's a better blue-black land. So it's kind of just like whatever, right? Like, I don't really want to pick this card, pick 5. That just seems genuinely bad. I think if we're going to try to get this Coco to work, I should probably ideally be red, because red has like some of the lower costed aggressive creatures you want to mash with green. So I guess we'll take this land. Okay, there's a Moldering Gym Weight Room or a Bashful Beastie. There's also a green-blue land, which I don't hate. I could kind of be convinced like any of these. They're all just kind of like around the same. Kind of like Bashful Beastie. But sometimes you get quite a few of these. I don't know. I could see us ending up in like a teamer spot. I guess I'll just take the Lakeside Shack. That's one of the lands I'm more likely to play. Okay, we get another Wary Watchdog. Cool. Well, we are not being kicked off green anytime soon. I'm basically guaranteed to be mono green here. At least at the beginning of this pack. This pack isn't really great overall. I could take this Friendly Teddy, but there's a Red of the Moth, and Red of the Moth is a really fun card to play around if you can make it work. I guess if I'm trying to do the Right of the Moth thing, if it's just given to us, take this Emerge from the Cocoon or the Shepherding Spirits. I feel like Emerge from the Cocoon is maybe like something I'm less interested in until I can confirm that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, I get a Fear of Exposure? Well, that is insane to hit off of Coco, because like that lets me bypass the cost of this, so that seems fine. I cut a black card. Okay, we just get a pick 13 Crypt Inspector. That was based. Damn. This is probably like the most uncontested green draft I've had ever, maybe. It's not like the green cards we have are insane, but like just reasonable picks in packs where it was like, all right, there's not really a card that it isn't green that is that much better than the green option, so I guess I'll stay green. I'm not like a big advocate of like, okay, my entire goal is just to get really deep into one color at the beginning of the first pack. If there's something like drastically more powerful, I'm down to take another color, but that just wasn't the case. Okay, this pack has a Silent Hall Creeper. It also has a Patchwork Beastie. And it has Narabella, so that has like some really good uncommons here. I do really like Silent Hall Creeper, but I kind of want to take Patchwork Beastie because, like, genuinely, I don't think this card is that much lower power level than Silent Hall Creeper. And I kind of just want to stay green because all of my cards are green. And if I can stay green and not sacrifice power, I want to do that as long as possible. I want to delay the decision. Ooh, okay. This is a spicy pack here. Unidentified Hover Ship. Probably not going to play it in our deck. I don't really want to have that many white sources. Could go Osseous Stick Twister. Like, that's something that makes me more interested in doing the Right of the Moth thing. But also, I kind of want to see a reason to be, like, summoning it like a Shroud Stomper, right? I feel like maybe I should just take this Growing Dread. And that seems pretty good in our deck. We already have a Crypt Inspector and a Threats around every corner. And, like, with the Threats and the Crypt Inspector, I might even be willing to splash this if we're red-green. Whereas, like, the Osseous Stick Twister, I haven't really seen a reason to just go black. And I think you need to have a reason to, like, be base black in this format. Because, like, all the good black cards are also really good at splashing. Oh, here we go. That's a Bottomless Pool Locker Room and also a Wickerfolk Thresher. I mean, I do think this card is insane. Don't get me wrong. But I kind of just want to go with the Thresher because I think it's probably about the same power level. Bottomless Pool might be a little bit better, but this is also just a green card, and we're basically mono green at this point. There is a Terramorphic. If this wasn't in the pack, I might actually take the Terramorphic. But yeah, that's just a good card. We slam good cards in this channel, boys. Okay, there's a Defiant Survivor. I think that's just an easy hit. It's also just like a really good card to summon off of our Coco. And it's just a good card to synergize with the Fear of Exposure because, like, we can tap it without attacking. I like that quite a bit. Oh, this pack is a lot less exciting. We're kind of in a weird position where it's like, I don't really have a reason to move into any other color yet. Could just take this green land cycler, but pick 5. That doesn't feel great. It's just like, what am I getting that makes my deck better here? Blue land cycler over green? Probably not. You know, I could take this liver die, which is like fine, but I also kind of want to keep my curve somewhat reasonable to make this Coco hit. Okay, this pack's also just really bunk. I guess I'll play another Flesh Burrower. Fanatic of Harrowing is actually a card I like a decent amount, but you have to be in the right place for it, and I just don't think we really are at the moment. I do need more interaction, though. Oh, that's a Spineseeker Centipede versus a Drag to the Roots. That's a toughie.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Like, our deck is just kind of low on interaction. I only have this Monstrous Emergence, so maybe I have to take this. But this card makes us more easily be able to justify putting this card in our deck. So it's kind of weird. I guess I could take this, like, Vanish from Sight, but that's not nearly as good of a card as Drag to the Roots. And this deck is, like, pretty good at getting Delirium. I'm just going to take the Drag to the Roots. I like Splashing Black. I think it's pretty good. Okay, we'll take a Bashful Beastie here. It's unlikely we play the Red of the Moth. And I highly doubt we're going to play any of these cards. How many enchantments do we have? We have 3. Yeah, it's not really enough. I just don't know that this is going to be a Chandelier deck. Like, we have some mill, but I'm not sure that this is going to be a deck where we're going to go that fast through our deck, really. There's a good card hit off Coco, though, so I'll take this card. Okay, I could take this Horrid Vigor. Oh, there's Erratic Apparition. I'm going to take the Horrid Vigor. Okay, we get a Moldering Gem. Oh, that's also, like, a green-black land or a murder. That's tough. Green-black land is actually pretty good. Fuck it, I'm taking the Moldering Gem. I'm a bitch. Oh, that's found footage. Okay. If we don't get that much fixing, we could play that. But, wow, going into pack 3, we're basically almost entirely mono green. And we're shown 3 absurdly good green cards. 4 absurdly good green cards. And this is a really tough decision. So, like, there's a Brood Spinner, which is, like, one of my favorite cards to play in any green deck. But there's also an Omnivore's Flytrap, which is, like, almost better. And then there's also an Under the Skin, which buys back these cards. So, like, the fact all of these cards are in the same pack feels really bad. But I guess this card is also just really good to hit off Coco. So that's kind of, like, what I'm interested in. Yeah, I mean, this card is just, I think, at least on the same level as Brood Spinner, if not better. And it's also just mono green. Oh my gosh, that's an Overlord of the Baelmerk?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Maybe I'm actually black-green. I'm switching teams, boys. I'm going to the dark side. This is recursion. Our deck needs recursion. Wow. Okay, I was kind of doubting the potential that this Coco would be insane, but it's actually looking not terrible. Maybe that's just because our deck is like 15 green cards. Our deck is 19 green cards. That's hilarious. Okay, what can we actually use here? Can I play this Final Vengeance? I don't know if I can. I have 5 enchantments. I don't hate this Final Vengeance. I guess this Stay Hidden, Stay Silent is just like a better card. Yeah, it is just a more premium, like, piece of interaction, I guess. It also allows us to manifest Dread, which there's something to be said about that. Sometimes I do actually like Final Vengeance in these decks. Sometimes I don't. It's kind of hit or miss. Yeah, this pack is just really bad for us. Our deck has 6 enchantments, so I could take, like, Stalked Researcher. I guess that's the card that most likely makes our deck, but this deck is just so high creatures. Like, I don't really want to play this many creatures. I would like interaction, please. Okay. There's a Haunted Screen. I guess I'm just taking this Final Vengeance and just splashing it. This isn't the worst deck to be splashing in. I do have a Threats and a Moldering Gem. But I don't have any copies of Spineseeker Centipede Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. We have Say Its Name, which I don't think I can pass up on here because we haven't seen one of these. And we also have a Vile Mutilator, which would just be really good in this deck. Like, because that's a good reason for us to be, like, hitting 7 mana. But I think I just need to take this card. It doesn't look like we're going to get any interaction here. Okay, there's another Moldering Gym. I don't know if we'll play that, but I'll take it. Our deck is kind of packed to the brim. Wow, this might be the most green deck I've ever had, and the interaction is not there. The interaction is not there, boys. You know what? I think this deck is, like, so good at, like, putting creatures on the board that maybe this Frantic Strength is worth it. Because, like, getting double blue, I don't know if I want to have that many blue sources. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, we get a Spine Seeker Centipede. I changed my mind. I want the Get Out. I want the Get Out, please. Okay, we get another Final Vengeance. Well, the Spine Seeker Centipede makes that a lot better. Wow. Well, we found a way to, like, almost end up with a mono green deck. I'm not sure that that's really a good thing, but we're doing the thing, boys. We're doing the thing indeed. Man, I kind of wish I had that Get Out now, but it is what it is. It's just how the draft goes sometimes. Probably cut a creature here. What am I cutting? I could cut this Growing Dread, but I feel like the Growing Dread's kind of good. Maybe I just don't want this Branch Snapper. I don't know. That seems kind of dumb. I think I do want the Branch Snapper. It's like a way to win the game. Could play another Moldering Gem. That could be fine. Yeah, this is a really weird deck. Because I kind of don't want to cut, like, a 3-drop. Because it makes our Coco just, like, all around worse. So I have 9 cards that can be summoned off Coco, or 10. That's pretty good. Maybe I'm just supposed to, like, not play this. I have the Moldering Gem, the Centipede, and the Threats. So that's 3 ways to get a blue. I mean, that seems fine to me. I could play the Slavering Branch Snapper if I wanted, but I just don't think this deck really needs it. Because, like, we're trying to do the Coco thing. All right, well, we ended up with a very interesting deck. We have a almost exclusively mono green deck. In fact, we have a total of 19 green cards 4 black cards and 2 blue cards here. And this deck, I think, is going to be a lot better with this card here, Collected Company, aka Coco, than I originally thought. So this is one of the cards from the special guest sheet, which is like really rare to see. In fact, this is my first time seeing this card. And it's actually kind of a cool build around, you know. I think we randomly ended up with a deck that might work very, very well with this, because we do have 5 3-drops and I believe 4 2 or 5 2 or lower drops that can be summoned off of this. And at worst, this just gives us access to Delirium, which I think is pretty good. You know, I mean, I'm not putting the cards in the graveyard, but if I'm hitting something, then if that game piece goes to the grave at some point, that is, you know, contributing to Delirium. And Instant is one of the more difficult types to get into the bin in these green decks sometimes. But this deck also has an Overlord of the Baelmerk, one of my favorite cards just from this set in general. I'm really enjoying playing this card in Constructed right now. And then we also have a copy of Omnivore's Flytrap, which is one that I never seem to get, but today might be our day to pop off because I finally hit the jackpot here. And this deck looks pretty good, other than our removal being far and few between. I think this could be one of the best decks that we draft in this entire format, and I'm excited to see what we can do. So let's go ahead and hop into these games. Sorry, I wanted to turn that air down a little bit before we get into this. But man, this looks like... I think this might be one of like the coolest like videos that I'm probably going to record this format if everything goes well. But we do need to do one more thing. We need to change our cover card real quick. Okay, there we go. Coco Control. All right, it's locked in. We're going to draw it. We're going to draw the Collected Company, I believe. Imagine our opponent attacks, and we just rip 2 3-drops off the Coco, and just double block them, and they get blown out. That'd be so cool. Alright, it's time to believe in the Coco. Sad Hat is going to be very sad after we resolve our Coco. That's all I'm saying. This is a really slow hand. But I am on the draw, and my opponent's mulling. I'm risking it for the biscuit. I don't care. The Coco will save us. Us not drawing low drops is going to benefit us greatly when we top deck the Coco on turn 4. I mean, this is a deck with 19 green cards. Oh, never mind. We just draw our blue card on turn 2. I'm just insane. I was going to say, this is a deck with 19 green cards, so it's not like I feel bad about opening a hand where I don't have other sources. Okay, he's doing a turn 2 say its name. That's pretty bad. And he actually, wow, that's really sad. He just milled 2 premium removal spells and got a Plains. Well, I'm gonna Growing Dread that I just top decked out of nowhere, buddy. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna get this card. This card, good card. This card, good card. Ooh, that card, good card. Wow, this is just really cool. You get a black. It's weird how this card doesn't appear in your graveyard when you're trying to check if you have Delirium. I don't know why it can't just appear in both places at once. Oh my gosh, you got a Rip Spawn Hunter. I'm so scared.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Guys, what am I going to do to this Rip Spawn Hunter? I don't know what's happening. I'm scared. Okay, well, I think I just sacked this Growing Dread. Like, I don't really care about the 1/1 counters. Like, that's cool and all, but I can't allow this person to keep this, and I think I'd rather just have this, like, 5/5. Also, maybe, like, sacking this Growing Dread will make my opponent think that my Manifest Dreaded creature is not a real creature, because otherwise I'd be incentivized to keep it. Nah, it just turns out my card is so busted, it doesn't matter if I keep or not. So right now I have Sorcery Enchantment. If I do this, it'll be Artifact Creature. I think I should just get this out of the way, because it uses all of our mana. Okay. So if this dies, I just get Delirium, which is like kind of cool. Yeah, so that gives us 5 out of 4. What are we missing to be able to hit? Okay, if we get an instant here, I can get Delirium 6 out of 4, and then the Omnivorous guy will be OP. I don't think I've ever gotten to do that. Wait, he's going Greenhouse? Wait, why is he going Greenhouse over the other side? That's kind of weird. Oh, that was just really broken. Okay. Yeah, let me just draw this, you know, after my Moldering Gym weight room has used both sides, because I'm just that guy. It is what it is. It's kind of scary, because maybe he could flip this up into a Centipede. Maybe I'm supposed to kill that. I don't know. Oh, it's a twitching doll. Okay, I don't feel bad about that at all. Alright, well, I'm just going to do that guy. Play this guy, attack with both. Okay, I have a 3/3 with Death Touch and a 5/5, and you have a 2/2 with really nothing else, so I'm feeling pretty good. I could have maybe just put all the counters on this, but, like, does it really matter? I mean, this guy's playing a Possessed Goat. We're playing 2 different games. Nice, buddy. Nice. Oh, that was broken.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Hold up, guys. My opponent just pulled this BS out of thin air, and now I might be biting the bullet. I need a judge to come in here. If this guy just doesn't block, he's the greediest motherfucker alive. He's going down to 3 HP, and he can play 1 card next turn. That just sounds so greedy. Okay, he's not doing it. Cool. I respect this individual. This guy is a respectable individual. I think I'm just supposed to put as many bodies on the board as possible here. So if he just plays one guy, it's game. And I don't think he can play more than one guy. Cool, we got it. Let's go. Bro, the good thing is this guy doesn't even know that we have the Coco yet. He doesn't understand the power of the Coco, and we're going to use that to our advantage. Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, how far can one Coco go? And that is what we're here to answer today. I think it's actually better to resolve the Coco on the draw, because then our opponent is going to like start pressing the advantage, thinking that they can attack, and then I get two blockers out of nowhere. Okay, well, drawing these two Flesh Burrowers feels kind of weird, but I have all three lands, and I have an Overlord with a Growing Dread. That seems based. This deck has a high amount of creatures, so honestly, I'm not too scared to just go Overlord turn 2. Just because, like, getting that out as soon as possible for the impending, I think is important. I genuinely think if you have this card in your opening hand, there's just no reason to hold it for more value. Okay, that was based. That was incredibly based. Hello. My name is Bomberman John. I'm here to collect my taxes. Okay, I'm just that guy. It is what it is. I kind of wish I could have both of those cards because they synergize really well together. But I think I'd rather leave that one in the grave because it's 2 types for Delirium. And that's pretty impactful right now. Glimmer Seeker, okay. Yeah, this is kind of weird. I guess what I could do... This doesn't feel good, but I guess I can Growing Dread and then Final Vengeance. I'm just worried that I'm, like, not going to hit a land next turn. But I'm also scared about this card because it's kind of a busted card. Well, that didn't feel great. At least I have Delirium. And, like, maybe if I miss a land drop, it's not the worst thing to happen. Because if my face down card doesn't die, I'm giving it 1/1 counters that can then, like, flip up into a 5/5 with Vigi. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to say its name to add back a land and play Watchdog so I don't miss a land drop. Missing a land drop here just feels really bad. I think I just add back this. And then I think I'll just play this guy. Worst case scenario, he has to use an interaction on my Flesh Burrower, which isn't that great, because like I just have way better cards in hand. Playing the Fly Trap would put us in a very similar situation. Okay, he probably has a Horrid Vigor. I would assume he has a Horrid Vigor. He has that random card. Okay, he gets one guy. I don't get a land, which kind of sucks. I could just play another Death Toucher, because I can, like, use this to surveil, I guess. And now, like, if he kills my Flesh Burrower, I still have 2 guys that can block. But in 2 turns, he's going to be able to use that Orphans of the Wheat to just continuously tap his Spawn Hunter. I probably just do this. This is a really weird situation for him, because, like, he needs to remove my Overlord, but also my Thresher. If we had an instant here, we'd have Super Delirium, and that would be incredibly based. Okay. I guess if I attack with this first, I could get the Super Delirium in main phase 2. I don't think I care about that. I think I just like putting rares in the battlefield because rares go burr. Oh no, I got Super Delirium. Alright, if this guy doesn't have a split up, I think I just win. If he has a split up, we cry. Okay, he is that guy. No one cares about that. I don't think I care about either of those things. Okay, you get a Possessed Goat and a Shepherd. Nice. I'm happy for you. Oh, and you're tapping that to play that? What the fuck? Okay. Well, GG's. I don't think his play made sense at all. Where's my Coco? My Coco! My precious Coco! Good game, sir. No Coco needed, baby. Sometimes Coco just isn't needed. It is what it is. Let's go. That was really cool. I like how we've been able to get away with just having like such minimal interaction. Yeah, this deck is fire. I don't know that it's that good. I got kind of lucky because my opponent just didn't have interaction and I drew like my 2 out of 4 piece of interaction. And I had bombs, but it's a fun deck. All right. Trust me, now is the time to Coco. Okay, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet, but maybe later in the game. Okay, well, that's amazing. I swear, we just keep drawing Growing Dread with Final Vengeance, which is, like, the best possible scenario for us. Oh, hey, there's that card that I forgot we had in our deck. Okay, well, we just drew, like, I think legitimately 3 out of 4 of our only interaction in the deck, and that's really cool. Growing Dread, sir. It'd be a shame if I matched your Growing Dread with a Growing Dread of my own. Okay, this is weird. Alright, we get another Final Vengeance. This kind of sucks. I have, like, all interaction and, like, no plays. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Wow, that is so scary. Thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me the only exile interaction in our deck, because I can't allow you to have that, sir. Yeah, it's a little too OP, buddy. I don't know why he wouldn't flash that in at the end of my turn. There's, like, legitimately no reason not to do that. It would have just played around my only way to interact with it. Alright, do you have a fear of imposters? Oh, you don't? Okay, cool. I think I'm okay with that. My hand has plenty of things to do. And it's not really like my mana restricting me, so I think I'm okay with that. Now he's going to play his own. Okay, I'll replay mine. Unable to scream, sure. Okay, nice. Say hello to my little friend. Final Vengeance. Yeah. If one of us can't have a Bashful Beastie, then neither of us shall have a Bashful Beastie, sir. Okay, now he has a guy. That's kind of scary. If he shuffles that into my deck, that's actually really bad. Because I really need the artifact right now. I need the artifact so bad. Do not do me like this, brother. Brother, let me keep that guy. I need the artifact so much. What, bro? No.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Why do you have this broken card, bro? This is literally the best card in the format. Why do you have that and not me? Why is he the chosen one here? Why is he the chosen one? This is the question that we need to ask. Maybe he'll, like, pay to flip his guy. I haven't played in a while, but I love the game. Yeah, I love this game, too. When certain sets come out, I love the game. When other sets come out that I feel like are woke as fuck and just, like, overall low quality, I just don't play. Okay, I guess I have to do this. I really just wanted to see if he would flip. Alright, we're back to square one again. That's no good. I guess if I draw, like, an Overlord of the, Baelmerk, I'm actually just, like, back. The game can get woke. Yeah, the game has been woke as fuck for a long time. I don't know if you ever heard of a guy named Tim Pool. But Tim Pool, he had this other guy on who played Magic. And, like, I don't usually listen to Tim Pool. But I saw this, like, excerpt from, like, an interview he did. And he was basically explaining how, like, all of these woke people have, like, wedged their ways into community manager roles in Magic the Gathering. And kind of just, like, forced their, like, ideals on other people. And that's why, like, they had to make, like, certain characters, like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. There was, like, four characters that they just, like, completely changed their race. And, like, races are, like, a fundamental part of Lord of the Rings. And that's where it's, like, the shit just gets weird. You know, like, if it's just, like, a character that you own, okay. Like, I don't really... But it's, like, the whole point of Lord of the Rings is that there are different races. And, like, changing the characteristics of the people fundamentally, I feel like is racist itself. Because you're demonstrating, like, oh, yeah, we feel the need to change this character's, like, identity because we need to appeal to black people. And black people are like, no, I don't give a fuck about that. Either the card is cool or it's not. Either you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and you're offended because they changed the identity of the card, or you haven't seen Lord of the Rings and you're like, okay, this card is either good or bad. And that's how I feel about it. All right, well, this guy's deck is disgusting. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this guy. I think I might just want to go to the next game and just not show him my cards. Because currently, I'm taking a lot of damage here. I might just die. We'll play one more turn. If I flip into something, like, really insane... Okay, I'm not flipping into anything insane, but that is kind of good. And then I already have a bunch of green. I might as well get a second black. Because if we draw the Baelmerk, it's just, like, insane. That was pretty good. Out of any of the things we could have, like, hit off of our Manifest Dread, that was one of the better things that gives us, like, a chance to not die. Okay, I'm not completely dead. I might be completely dead. Okay. Is there a group of MTG players on Rumble? I'm not too sure about that. I think that's why I've gotten a lot of viewers and why I was, like, featured on the front page of Rumble. Is because there's just not that many people that play games in general on Rumble, let alone Magic. Like, I've seen a video pop up on Rumble of a Magic thing every once in a while. But it wasn't by anyone who was, like, actually, like, professional or, like, trying to put as much time into it as me. Or just, like, card games in general. Like, the only gaming people I see on Rumble are people playing, like, Madden or people playing Fortnite. Okay, so I think I'm just forced to play this. This might be a little bit ballsy. The reality is, if the card he can flip into is insane, I'm probably losing anyway. I need to push my advantage, because if he top decks something that, like, affects the game, I probably lose on the spot. Oh my gosh, we drew the Coco. It's time for the Coco. All right, we got to check the percentages here. We got to check the percentages, boys. Okay, so we have a Defiant Survivor, a Fear of Exposure, a Wary Watchdog, a Flesh Brewer, and a Bashful Beastie. It's time. The moment you have all been waiting for. We're about to let the Coco decide our fate, boys. Wait, maybe I should wait until he attacks. That could be better. Yeah, that could be better. But, yeah, whatever I get could change what I want to do. Because if I attack with this... Wait, I don't have an instant in the grave. So, yeah, okay, this will give me Super Delirium. Oh my gosh, that's insane. I believe in the Coco, baby. Oh my gosh, we hit so hard.
I fucking knew it! Oh!
We literally just hit the best target in our deck, the Fear of Exposure. Oh, no, that doesn't give us Super Delirium. I guess I already had an instant. Oh, I'm stupid. I thought I didn't have an instant. Okay. So if I do this, and he blocks, and I give this, I think that's fine. Because in order for him to kill this, he has to triple block, which means I'm going to get to kill 2 things. And if I'm killing 2 things, I'm probably winning. Okay, he's not doing that. The Coco is the real deal, boys. Believe in the Coco.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
I'm just that guy. Call me Coco Johnny. Fuck Coco Melon. Coco Johnny is here. Hey, hey. You know how we be. Yes, sir. This is my first time ever seeing anyone cast this card, and it was completely broken. I've always seen people play this card when it first came out, but Magic has always been too expensive for me to, like, play in person, so I've never gotten to use the card. But I remember when this card came out, and it was, like, really busted. It was also just busted on Arena for a while. But, like, the main times I've been able to play Magic in person was whenever I had a friend who had, like, multiple Modern decks, and I would borrow his Tron deck, and I really like Tron. And it sucks that Modern is just, like, dead in my area, or all constructed Magic. Because I did create 2 standard decks one time, and me and my friend went up there, and it was really fun. But then just not enough people showed up, and then Hasbro just killed the standard play because they just started undercutting local game stores, selling boxes to Amazon at a lower MSRP than what the distributors were allowing. And so people would just buy these $80 boxes from Amazon, come in the store, open them in the store, not spend any money in the store, while the stores are forced to purchase a set amount of boxes per product that comes out, or else they aren't allowed to hold a Wizards affiliated tournaments. So pretty much every place that I could go to within a 100-mile radius have decided to just stop holding Magic tournaments altogether because they can't take the loss on the product. And the same thing has happened with D&D, but I did hear at the World Championship, they're bringing back MSRP. And you know what's so funny? When they said they're bringing back MSRP, it got the loudest cheer out of anything revealed. Like, they revealed, like, 5 new sets in this panel, and, like, what Foundations was about, but for some reason, everyone got so excited. Like, they almost got as excited as people at a Donald Trump rally. And they were like, whoa, we didn't know people were going to be so excited about getting MSRP. It's like, well, yeah, because you fucking killed the game stores. Alright, this hand has a Patchwork Beastie on turn 1. Sign me up for that, big hoss. Turn 1 Patchwork Beastie. Kind of the goo, for real, for real. Man, I'm just so happy that we resolved that Coco. That's my first Coco I've ever resolved. I feel like a man now. Like, my whole life, I felt like I haven't been an adult yet, because I'm also just kind of young. But once I resolved that Coco, I feel like I became a man. I could really, like, get some hair on my chest after that one. Okay, we get an Overlord, and we're kind of BM'd at this point because we don't have a black. That really sucks. A turn 2 Overlord here would be so disgusting. Alright, let's just hit a black here. The dirty black stores for the boys. I don't think I can keep that. It does set up Delirium because our deck has like 3 instants. So, I think that's actually quite relevant. Also, like, anytime you play this card, you're pretty much incentivized to mill the card. Because if you don't, and then you're forced to, like, trade with it or it dies, then you're basically just getting no value out of this card because you didn't, like, put anything in the grave, and it was just a 2-mana 3/1. Wait, he's putting an Unable to Scream on that guy? That just seems, like, strictly bad. Why would you do that? Yeah, that just seems fundamentally bad. I don't think that was correct. Okay, not what I was looking for, but that's okay. And just run out my tapped lands. I'm just gonna hit Delirium here because I'm a hoss. Wait, that gives me Delirium? Oh, but that card's really good. I can't do that. Yeah, that card's too good. I'm not going to put that in the grave. See, this is why this card is so weird. Because now it's like, all right, I know this. I don't want to mill this. And now if he kills this, I get no value. And then on top of that, I'm not allowed to press the mill button on this guy next turn because I still want to draw that card. So this card can either be insane for you or it can just feel really bad. Right now it's feeling really bad. But I am getting a really good card, so the feel bad may not matter. I will say, if he doesn't put anything big on the field, I can just tap this, tap my land, and then just play the Fear of Exposure. And I'm just getting a 5-4 on turn 4, which isn't terrible. It's not really great, but it's like getting a Patchwork Beastie. Bashful Beastie. I always get these two guys confused. They have such similar names, but they're completely different cards. Yeah, playing this guy is basically like getting a Bashful Beastie 1 turn earlier. Like, legitimately. They're both 5-4. This guy gets a Manifest Dread. This guy gets Trample. It's kind of the same thing. Oh, you're so gross, bro. You're so gross.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I love that for you, man. It was such a cool top deck, man. I love you, man.
Congratulations. You get anything you want from your deck. I love that deck, man. It's so expensive, man.
I love this deck, man. So expensive. So many premium uncommons, man. I love that for you. Well, I don't think I want to lock anything down with my Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, because this guy's board is just extremely mediocre. And also, just like playing that out doesn't even give me Delirium because it stays on the field. And I think we know that he has like a Bashful Beastie or a Land Cycler. I forgot what we saw from him, but he has something that at least costs 5 that's probably worth like holding this since we're relatively healthy. Okay, I'm gonna mill. No, my black, my black. Don't do me like that.
Hold up. Wait
No.
a minute. Something ain't right.
Our fate stands in the hands of the Coco. Believe in the Coco, baby girl. Believe in the Coco. Coco is love. Coco is life. And I already have an instant grave, and that really sucks. How many 3s do I have? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 cards that I could hit, so more than likely this gives me 1. Very low chance that it hits 2. But it's probably about like an 80% chance that gives me 1, which isn't like terrible. Maybe I should press my advantage and do this when he attacks. I kind of like doing that. Because then I could force out like at least 1 1-for-1 trade, but maybe even like a 2-for-2, which in a simplified game state is way more advantageous to us. Wait, he's doing that? Okay. I'm really happy about that. Thank you. Would you like to flip? Okay, he's not flipping. Wow. I don't think this guy should have done that at all. That just seemed really bad. The fact this card is instant is just so busted in draft. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to have to tap that down, buddy. I'm just going to tap it down. Tap, tap, taparoo. Tap, tap, coming to you. I feel so powerful with this card, specifically because all of my thumbnails for whenever I live stream Magic include the artwork of this card. Coco. Believe in the Coco. Oh my gosh. We did it again, boys. The hype is real. The Coco dream is upon us. And it lets us go fetch a black. Are you kidding me? That is literally the best Coco anyone has ever seen in Duskmourn Draft. Wow. Alright, turns out the bonus sheet is incredibly broken, guys. If you see a card on the bonus sheet, don't let it slide, because we're out here handing out pieces of power in the budget option. Well, I feel like I just can't lose. That Coco just, like, said, haha, I win the game, you lose. I don't know what to say. Like, this isn't really fair anymore. Well, I kind of just want to do this to, like, BM. I just want to let him know that, like, I have multiple mythic rares in my deck, and I'm a better player for it. Okay, well, I got rid of, like, a lot of dead draws, which is kind of nice. If I add this back, I lose my... No, do I lose my Delirium? I don't. I still have 4. Okay. Well, I think I just add this back, actually, because, like, I don't need to play the Fear of Exposure this turn. I have other actions. Yeah, I have, like, multiple other game actions. Let's just attack with both of these and see what he does. Okay, he just takes all of it. You love to see it. Alright, we'll run out the Inspector here. Heyo! Man, I love Coco. This is a fun and fair card, man. Dagger Maw Megalodon. Alright. That is a card that I feel comfortable making stay quiet. You know, recently this year, we've seen a lot of censorship from the media. specifically from a lot of the liberal news stations. And so I'm going to carry on the rite of passage as an American by suppressing whoever I feel their voice does not deserve to be heard. And at this moment, it is the Dagger Maw Megalodon. I'm sorry. But as an American, it is my right because I have more power than you currently. So I need to suppress you to make myself feel better. That's how America works, right? That's what I was told. That's what they programmed into me into the public schools, guys. Nice. That was really cool. I love that, man. Bashful Beastie. Man, I love this deck, man. This is a fun and fair deck. So much searching, man. So many expensive cards. Oh my gosh. Wait. He has another Land Cycler, but I don't have permission from the liberal news media stations to suppress another person. I need to make another $50,000 donation to the Democratic Party before I'm allowed to do that. But I'm running low on funds and I haven't received a Twitch Prime today. What will I do? Maybe I should just shuffle that into the deck because it'd be funny. And I'd get a 1-1 counter. Is that just game? It's not game, but it does press my advantage a lot. Oh, that was kind of cool. Do I already have an enchantment in the graveyard? Oh. Yeah, that's going to die, so it's going to put an enchantment in the graveyard anyway. And I can play a dog, because, like, dogs are cool, right? Doggy style. Alright, what would you like to kill here, sir? I am a fun and fair man. I will allow you to kill that creature if it makes you feel better about yourself. Since I suppressed you, I'll allow you to get one over on me. Okay, I'm sorry. I just hit an Omega Delirium. I'm just that guy. It is what it is, man. I'm sorry. They don't call me Johnny the Delirium Jit for no reason, baby. Okay, that's a really good card. I'm going to keep that card. Man, I love playing green decks when you just get all of the rares and your opponent has to, like, sit there and watch you just, like, have fun. It's, like, a really good experience for one of us, not for the other player. But that is the best form of Magic. You know that you're playing Magic the Gathering when one player is having fun and the other is not, and you are the person who's having fun. That's how you know you're playing Magic as Richard Garfield intended. What's up, Giant Killjack? All right. For anyone who just joined, this is a deck I like to call Coco Bonanza. And it's where we resolve Coco, and for some reason, every time, we just always hit 2/3 drops, because, like, I'm just a better player. We also have an Overlord of the Balemark, and that's really cool. But I've just been high-rolling people, and I'm glad that everyone else is here to experience it. Without the spectators, are you really high-rolling? Like, if you natural Tron someone on turn 3, and no one is around to hear you play your third land, did you actually hit natural Tron? If you ultimate Karn Liberated, but no one is around to hear it, did it actually happen? You know, that's the age-old question. Especially since Karn Liberated is resetting the game, you could have just not played a game at all. Who knows? Or should I say, if you ult Karn Liberated and a judge is not around to hear it, did you actually ult? That's a better question. Alright, match number 3. It's time for the final boss. Can we Coco them out of the game? Let's see it. Alright, so I'm playing first for the first time all run, I think. And I have a Patchwork Beastie. Like, there's very few things you can do to get me to not keep a hand with the turn 1 Patchwork Beastie and, like, 2 lands. Like, that's all you need. Okay, I almost declined. That was scary. Oop. Okay. Wow, that was very sad. Wow, that was really sad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do I want to say its name and just add back my island? This seems kind of bad. Actually seems really bad, but I want to use my mana, so I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, that was literally terrible. Wow, that was the worst say its name anyone has ever seen. Especially since next turn I was going to get another blue mana. But like passing and doing nothing on turn 2 is legitimately terrible. Oh, I just milled my best card after getting rid of my say its name. That was cool.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Damn, that's really awesome. I used my first piece of 1 of 2 recursive cards in the deck in order to add back a land. Then I mill my second other piece of recursion after I have a black source. You hate to see it. Well, my Patchwork Beastie is at least online, so I can at least be happy about that, I guess. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when the beastie comes for you? Nothing, because you have an open board state and you chose to play green-white. Oh no, he's actually doing something. That's not cool, man. You can't do that right after I used my 2 pieces of recursion, man. I don't have a lot going on in my life. Oh, there's really no incentive for me to get anything here. I guess we just get another green. Well, I guess we still have the Omnivore's Flytrap. That's like a real card we could draw. And we don't draw it. It's okay. All good in the hood, baby. Let's see if he trades. The gentleman's offer. The gentleman's offer has been accepted. Thank you. Nice. I respect that. People who make gentleman's offers are very reasonable people. Like, this is probably a person that I would feel comfortable sitting down at a chess table with. Alright, this is our game plan. What we're going to do is we're just going to rip a Coco off the top, hit Omnivore's Flytrap and Cryptid Inspector, and just roll our way to victory. Okay, we're not doing that. Damn. So if I do this, I miss out on my Manifest Dread value, but that's fine. Okay, I hit the Omnivore's Flytrap. I'm just that guy. Johnny, the Manifest Dread Jit, is back at it again, banger. Is back at it again, brother. Okay, never mind. I'm not back at it again. I'm back to square one. That was kind of impressive, not gonna lie. Ooh, I'm that guy, baby. I'm that guy.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
They call me that guy for a reason, son. Boop. Enter the code. A, B, up, down, B, B, A, enemy controller. Go. That was really cool. So if I play this card, then during his end step, I can Growing Dread and flip, which is like based. So let's do that. That sounds really cool. Technically, if he has something that does specifically 5 damage here, I will be able to flip with the Growing Dread, get the 1/1 counter, and just like not lose the game. Let's play this card. This card's cool. Boop. Hey, that card's also cool. We milled a good card, though, which kind of sucks. But this is fine. Ah. I'm down to 13, but it's fine. I'm using my life total as a resource here. Using all the resources. Use a Fear of Exposure. Okay. Sure, buddy. Sure. 1, 2, flipperoo. Ayo, I have a 6/8 Flytrap with Omega Delirium. Am I gaming now? I think I'm gaming, boys. I'm legitimately gaming. Yeah. So is this double the amount of 1/1 counters after? Okay, that's just broke. Yeah, that's just broken. Broken. Ayo. How would you like to block, buddy? How would you like to block? Okay, he doesn't block. Alright, well, I am winning the race now. That is a fact that is undisputable. Wow, okay, I hit another high attack creature. That's really cool. I like this game. This is a fun and fair game, man.
Congratulations. You get anything you want from your deck. I love that deck, man. It's so expensive, man.
No Overlord needed, baby girl. Okay, that's kind of busted. That is busted indeed. Do not have an answer. Okay, oh my gosh. This guy. Why?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Dude, I'm losing to someone with a baseball bat. Are you kidding me? Motherfucking Shohei Ohtani was not supposed to show out until the World Series tonight, brother. Shohei. Take the samurai hat off. We need you for the game. You can't be using your baseball bat this early. We don't need you to get Tommy John surgery again, brother. Come on. That really sucks. Okay, wow. I actually just got outplayed by a baseball bat. GG. To be fair, I did mill my best card and my other card that allows me to like play a late game. So I can't feel too bad there. But I also just have to respect the fact someone made a green-white deck work. Because green-white is just fundamentally like almost, it's like just borderline unplayable. Maybe I should throw in the Shrewd Storyteller so we can have like a battle of like the stories. I can guarantee you, fundamentally, my stories are way better than his and more funny. So I would probably win that battle 10 out of 10 times. Believe in the comeback, baby. Believe in the Coco comeback. Let's go. Oh my gosh, the Coco is here, but the green mana isn't. And this deck has legitimately like 20 green cards. No. All right. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, take the wheel. I believe. Give me your strength, Father. Okay, this hand is sus, but I'm going to keep. Okay, that's a card I can play. No survival creature. No, okay, not a survival creature. We love to see it. We love no survival creatures this time of year, brother. We're going to go Cryptid Inspector into a Threats, into a Growing Dread Monstrous Emergence Wombo combo. I believe. Do not have a baseball bat. Brother, if this guy has another baseball bat, I'm going to have to take away his playing time. Oh my gosh, that's a Coco. Coco! This is a good question. Am I supposed to Coco or Threats? It's probably better to do this while I have more targets. When he attacks, I could trade 2 for 2. But I think just getting the Threats down is so huge in terms of us being able to double spell next turn. Because then we could go like Coco plus Growing Dread. Wow, this is a tough one. Like, both of these cards are literally insane. I don't think I want to trade that. It does just make his guy Death Touch, though, which is scary. Oh my gosh, the Thresher is here. It's the Wickerfolk Mirror. No. The Wickerfolk Mirror. No. It feels really bad to lose this. But I think I need to. Okay, that's not a land, but it does allow us to triple spell, I think. Yeah, that should allow us to triple spell, right? So we always have to do this. Trigger the threats. We're going to go get another black in case we draw Overlord. And then I can Monstrous Emergence. Target that. Target my Inspector. And then I play a Patchwork Beastie that is online, and I attack for 4. Now, our fate is all in the hands of this one Coco. The age-old question, how much can one Coco do if a Coco could Coco? Wow, that was a really good card. Okay, that was really awesome. I love this deck, man. This is a fun deck. Maybe I just kill that to press my advantage. I think I'm just supposed to do this. Okay, that's literally insane. Are you kidding me? Coco! I think that might be the best Coco ever resolved. Wait, didn't we just resolve those same two creatures in a previous match with our Coco? I think we actually did. The trade? Okay. Well, that was well worth. I didn't even have to use my drag to the roots? That's beast. Okay. You're fucking kidding me.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You, dirty bread baker, you. I think it's fair to say that our opponent's pronouns are dirty / bread baker. Like, there's just no other way that you can label it. He is a dirty bread baker on all counts. Man, I wish I could have buffed up the centipede. Alright, maybe this guy's just dead. Is the Coco lethal? Okay, no, that's scary. Wait, I think he's still dead. There's no way he has a possessed goat. He doesn't have it. We're going to game 3. The Coco dream remains alive for one final game, baby. Let's go. Can we take down the white-green monstrosity splashing one good card, which is an Overlord, one of the best cards in the format? But I also have an Overlord, sir, and mine is Japanese, which makes it more valuable. Wait, why is my Japanese art, like, not available? Sir? Sir, why is my Japanese art not available? Okay, it should be available in the game. I'm just going to trust that Magic Arena isn't scamming me because I paid a total of 10 Monopoly money in order to get a Japanese art style to make other people I play against feel like they have less money than me, which in fact could not be farther from the truth. Okay, wait, hold up. Someone straight up took one of my videos and just reposted it on their channel, and I filed a copyright claim. I need to see what the update is. Let's go! Their content has been removed. This person literally, they didn't even do anything to change the content. They literally screen recorded my short, a short that has 30,000 views, and just reposted on their channel. But I didn't know how to view, like, copyrighted stuff because I didn't think anyone would do that to me because I'm not that, like, big on any of my channels. But this person directly just posted it to YouTube and TikTok, and I had to file a copyright claim because this person literally just straight up, they didn't even do anything to change it. If they were actually, like, reacting to my content, I wouldn't have an issue. But this person legitimately just took my content, screen recorded it, and reposted on their channel. Like, I can't believe that's just not automatically identified in the YouTube system. But whatever. Final game. Can the Coco regime reign supreme? That is the question we're all here to answer. All right, this hand is pretty sus. But at the same time, my deck has 20 green cards, and I have the sources with a 2-drop, so I'm going to keep. Okay, I'm just that guy. I told you. Very few people can get me off a hand with a turn 1 Patchwork Beastie. Wait, we actually have the dream. We actually have the dream. If he doesn't have a removal, I can turn 3 Fear of Exposure. That's actually insane. That's goated. I've never gotten to do this before.
I fucking knew it. Oh,
I guess there's a first for everything. There's a first for drafting a card off of the list, and there's a first for going a turn 3 Fear of Exposure. No, that was my black source. I legitimately needed that so bad.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
That fundamentally would change the course of this game so much. That hurt so bad. Wow. Okay. You're trading a 3-drop for a 4-drop and taking 4 damage. We love to see it. Now I'm going to play my Thresher. It's the Battle of the Threshers, except mine's still alive and yours not. It's fine. And next turn, my Patchwork Beastie is just going to hit. No, no, no.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Sir, please calm down. Please calm down. Okay. The chances for Delirium are still alive. And if we get Delirium here and our Thresher attacks and gets us a black source into play, that would literally be disgusting. Oh my gosh, it's a black source. Are you kidding me? I mean, at least it's Delirium, I guess. The Delirium was actually huge. Oh my gosh, it's a black source. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, baby? Let's go.
Yes,
Hello?
I see.
Okay.
Good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone. I just talked to the unpaid intern at Wizard of the Coast. He said we're going to get the black source and the Coco regime will reign supreme. Yes, Sirski, baby. That is actually just so disgusting. I'm actually just insane. It is what it is, baby. Wait, he has an Overlord, though. Maybe I should see if he wants to trade. Nah, fuck him. I'm going in for the damage. That was too dirty of a play. I can't pass that up. Tempo. Bro, that was literally the definition of tempo. If you ever looked at Urban Dictionary, this clip is the definition of tempo. Okay. Let's go. The Coco regime reigns supreme once again. Sha. Believe in the Coco, baby. The hype is real. Well, I have to say, as we wind down the last few weeks of Duskmorn Draft, this may have been the most enjoyable and coolest run I've ever gotten to do. So let's do a quick little review of the deck before we end the video. So obviously, the face of the deck, Collected Company. This card was actually disgusting. A lot of people on their tier list don't have this card that high. Maybe I just got extremely lucky, which is very fair to say, but it was just game ending and backbreaking every time we played it. And we didn't even like need to do it when they attacked and get like free blocks at instant speed. Just multiple times, it just got us 2 creatures that triggered 2 ETBs and it just destroyed our opponents. Like every time, I think 2 times in the run, we hit an Omnivore's Flytrap with Delirium already active in conjunction with a Centipede. And the amount of advantage we were pressing off that was just backbreaking. Threats around every corner was a great card in this deck as well. Because on top of the fact that this was a Coco deck, this was just a cool run overall. Because this is the most green cards I think I've ever put in my deck. We had a total of 6 non-green cards, or 5 if you want to, or 4 exclusively non-green cards if you want to exclude our Growing Dread and our Drag to the Roots. And that just doesn't happen very often. When you get a bunch of green fixing and are able to stay into primarily green as long as possible, your deck is just going to be amazing because you're just making it to where any bombs that are opened in the packs later in the draft are going to be put in your deck. And that's exactly what we ended up with because we got an Overlord of the Bale Merc, which every time we saw it and were able to cast it, it was absolutely insane. And I have to say, for my experience playing with this in Constructed and as well in Draft, this is my favorite Overlord by far. I just think it's the coolest one. And the fact its impending cost is only 2 is so busted in Draft, because this card is fundamentally the best mill card that we have in Standard right now. And that's why it is the cornerstone of my green-black Standard Reanimator deck, which I'm going to be having a video come out soon on, so make sure to stay on the lookout for that. But we also had Omnivorous Flytrap, which I've had this in a couple decks before, but every time I've had this, I never really got to use it because I just didn't get to draw it, or it just died immediately. But this was the first time I actually got to experience the full power of this card, and it was absolutely insane. Every time we had this, we won the game, and when you get Super Delirium, it's just like there's no way the other guy can come back. Like, especially like when we rip this off our Coco, it's basically like us getting 2 4-drops, which is ridiculous, you know? And because if you're putting the 1/1 counters on other creatures besides this, or even 1/1, you're making this difficult to kill, or you're just putting insurance on your board to where, like, okay, you keep getting this effect, so they need to kill it, but now you have these supersized creatures, and especially if you're putting the counters on something like the Centipede, which has Vigilance, you're just ending the game. And then we also had a decent amount of interaction in this deck, and just almost none of it was in green. And I think Final Vengeance needs to be talked about, because a lot of people like this card, but they feel that it's an exclusively red-black card, and I actually don't feel like that. I think it's pretty easy to get game objects in your deck that are worth sacrificing in green, and I actually like this card quite a bit as just like a splash, because later in the game, I mean, just being able to exile something for 1 mana is so relevant in this format. And especially with cards like Growing Dread, where you're getting your value up front, this is kind of more or less a lingering game piece that sometimes gives you an additional bonus. You're more than happy to sacrifice stuff like this. And I think there's quite a few cards like that just in green in general that a lot of people kind of undervalue. You know, likewise with like something like a Wary Watchdog. If you aren't keeping the card that you revealed with this when it entered on top, and it's like a fresh Surveil, I think sacrificing this to kill a big threat or a bomb is well worth it and something you're willing to pay, especially because this card is great at setting up Delirium, because if you're able to sacrifice an enchantment, that's 2 types in the graveyard that are somewhat difficult to put in out of all of the types, and you're getting both at once. And if you have good Delirium payoffs, it just really helps you out while also pressing your advantage. And I just think that 1 mana interaction spells in green assertive decks are really beneficial. And that's why I also really like Unable to Scream, because you want to be developing a threat every turn in this deck to not give up any tempo. And so all of the ones that cost 1 mana, I think really overperform. And then other than that, we just had a bunch of Manifest Dread cards that worked really, really well together. And I think there's not much that needs to be said there. But this was an awesome run, and I hope you guys enjoyed showcasing the power of Coco as much as I did, because I don't think we're ever going to be offered this card in a draft again until the end of the format, since it is on the bonus sheet, and it was a wild ride for sure. Thank you so much for getting this far in the video, and if you want to see more awesome card game content like this, make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. And as always, if it's not the goo, it's got to go. Peace. Alright, well, that was a great video. I really try my best to be able to like set up my streams to where I can repurpose at least some portion of the stream into a video, so I'm not wasting my time, because streams aren't really beneficial as a like creator and to your business unless you're also like creating videos, because then no one's gonna watch the stream, and the videos are really what causes people to join the stream, and then that's how you're gonna generate revenue. I really needed that W, I'm not gonna lie, because I was really down in the dumps on the gems, man. All right, I'll be right back, and then we'll run another one. All right, screw it, guys. We're just going to high roll and draft another Coco deck. I have to fulfill the prophecy. they now know me as the Coco Jet. Where's the stash? I'm right here, baby. It really sucks that I have to wear my glasses right now because I'm waiting on my contacts to come in. And I was using the last pair, but it was a trial pair, and it just started messing with my eyes. I just don't really like being on the computer with glasses. And I had to switch out my other, I had to switch out of my other pair of glasses because, like, they're better, but I got these Oakley glasses that I really liked that I was wearing before. And the eye doctor people were like, I was like, these kind of, like, are hard on my head. Can you guys, like, adjust them when they come in? They're like, yeah, sure. And then I got them, and I went back there to get them adjusted because they, like, hurt my head after, like, wearing them for 2 hours. And they're like, oh, sorry. You can't actually adjust Oakleys. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, it would have been nice if the person who worked with me would have told me that information $300+ ago. That would have been nice. Alright, welcome back to another Duskmorn draft on the channel, and we're starting off with one of my favorite rares in the format, and one of my favorite cards just in the set in general, Kaido, Bane of Nightmares. This card was making a lot of noise at the World Championship, and for good reason. It is a really cool card to play with, and I just love the fact that ninjutsu is now on a Planeswalker, because Planeswalkers are my favorite type in just terms of, like, flavor-wise. There's also just some insane cards in this pack with a Bottomless Pool, a Centipede, and to say its name. But we got to go Kaido here. We got to slam the Kaido, baby. Kaido is the real deal. We don't pass Kaidos on this channel. I will say, I think Kaido is a lot better as a splash. Ooh, wow. This pack is a banger, too. There's an Optimistic Scavenger, which I don't hate following up the Kaido with that pick. It's just like Optimistic Scavenger, if you get pushed out of white, you're just shit out of luck. And I'm not really trying to do that. So I think I'm just going to go with the Centipede. Because the Centipede almost guarantees that I'm going to be able to play Kaido. Because I really like green-blue. And I also like green-black if the rares and the removal are flowing. So I'll just take the Centipede. One of my favorite cards in the format. Okay, maybe I should have taken the blue route. Or maybe I should have taken the white route, because there's a Shard Mage's Rescue, and that would have been really nice with the Scavenger. But we still got some decent cards in here. We got a green-black land, a Cursed Windbreaker. Honestly, I like Windbreaker, but I'm not confirmed whether I'm going to be green-black or blue-green. So I think I'm just going to take the Strangled Cemetery here, because I know that's going to make our deck. I'm going to do everything I can to get into one of these two color pairs. And I think green just has a really deep range of commons to where you can almost hard force it. In general, I just think green is the best color in the format. Like, it's so versatile in what it can do. And a lot of the green commons just go late. And it's not because people, like, are undervaluing them, which can also be true. It's partially due to the fact that there's just so many good green commons. Like, Manifest Dread isn't a bad card at all, but it goes pretty late because there's other banger green commons like Centipede or, I forget what that other one is called off the top of my head. Say Its Name's really good. There's also like Flesh Burrower, which I don't mind playing. Cryptid Inspector. There's just a lot of good green commons. Monstrous Emergence. And pretty much all of green's uncommons are bangers as well. Okay, this pack is overall extremely flat, and there's really no good pick here that would make it into our deck, ideally. Cautious Survivor is one of the only green commons I actively don't want to play. I think I'm just going to take the Ghostly Keybearer because I think it has the highest upside here. And oftentimes, it is very easy to get a bunch of rooms. Once you have like 4 rooms, I think the key bearer is fine. And Fanatic Harrowing, I don't mind either, but it doesn't have that high of a ceiling, right? Oh, there's a green-blue land. I don't mind that. There's also a murder, though. Murder is hella nice. I think I'm just going to take the murder here. I already have 1 land. I could take another land, but I just think removal is good with Kaido because you really just want to delay the game. The way that I look at Kaido is it's basically just a better version of Meat Locker Drown Diner because you really just want to go -2 or -2, tap something, stun it, and then go +1 and then do it again and just continue that loop and then keep attacking and growing your guy. Yo, what's up, Space Penguin? Sorry, I just saw your message. Wow, another really flat power level pack here. I could go Haunted Screen. I don't hate this card since we're playing 3 colors. But I already have a Centipede. I think I'm just going to go with the Bashful Beastie because you always want at least one of these. I'm also just cutting a somewhat decent green card. Okay, there is really no good card for us here. Surprising that the Inquisitive Glimmer is still in this pack, pick 7. It's actually really strange. Yeah, this is a tough one for sure. I don't really like playing Derelict Addict. Like, these decks don't really need card advantage because their card quality is overall higher since you're playing more of a late game. I guess I'll take the Stocked Researcher. And then I guess we can take another Stocked Researcher. Wow, this draft is going really weird. Okay, we get a Moldering Gem. There's also a Vanish from Sight, but I think just given that I have a double black card and 1 black card that is also containing blue, I probably just need the Moldering Gem over the Vanish. And this card also synergizes with our Stocked Researcher, so... Okay, there's another murder. There's also a Greenhouse Rickety Gazebo, which I don't hate. And there's a Twist Reality. Yeah, this is a tough one. Like, I do think Murder is overall better, but, like, playing multiple copies is just so bad when we're splashing it. Okay, there's a Crypt Inspector, but there's also a Dagger Maw. I think this deck wants a Land Cycler more. Alright, so off to a little bit of a rocky start at the end of pack 1, but we are clinging on to this Kaido. Oh, baby. Well, I'm glad that I have somewhat solidified myself inside of green-blue because there is a amazing reward in the form of Enduring Curiosity. Funny enough, this card was also making strides in the same deck as Kaido at the World Championship, piloted by the great Kai Buddha, and this is one of the best cards in draft as well. There's also a Bottomless Pool and a Stick Twister alongside a Painter Studio. This pack is so good that I think we genuinely are going to get back one of these 3 cards right here in the common slot, and that would be amazing for our deck. But we got to go with Curiosity. I would have loved to got that Bottomless Pool, but this card is just too premium. Lets you draw too many cards. So we definitely have some bombs thus far. One card that would go really hard in this deck is an Under the Skin. Under the Skin lets you buy back any permanent, which means we could get back our Kaido. Okay, there's a Scrabbling Skull Crab. There's also a Defiant Survivor, which is the best card here. And there's a Manifest Dread, which I think is realistically worse than the Defiant Survivor by a decent amount. But the issue is I don't have but 2 2-drops that aren't really that great. So it's kind of a weird situation because you end up like clogging on 3-drops relatively easy in this archetype, like green deck specifically. I think I am just going to take this Manifest Dread, even though I think it's a worse card. Because I don't want to end up with too low amount of 2-drops. Because then we're just not going to be able to get to the late game and be able to win via our bombs. Okay, this pack has a Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, which is great for us. If that wasn't here, we could have picked up this Meat Locker Drown Diner. But since we already have a Kaido, it's not really something I'm very interested in. And this is an enchantment for our Stalked Researcher. Ooh, okay, there is an Insidious Fungus. That's one that I like quite a bit. Because unless you are getting cards like Break Down the Door, green has a very limited, finite amount of enchantment/artifact interaction, which, in my opinion, is some of the more powerful bombs in this format. So I'm going to take that here. Okay, wow. There is a Overgrown Zealot, a Centipede, which is kind of just a better version of this, and a Withering Torment. Well, I really want the Withering Torment to have more interaction, but I think we just need the second Centipede because that'll allow us to branch out, and maybe we can take that Murder number 2 that was in our original pack on the wheel. Because double Centipede and a Moldering Gem, if we need it, is just really premium fixing in a deck that realistically could be all 3 colors. Ooh, there is a black Land Cycler and a green one alongside a Vanish from Sight. I think I'm just supposed to take this Vanish here. This is an okay card. And hopefully we'll get 1 Land Cycler at the end of this pack. 2 picks away from our original pack here. And we find an Underwater Tunnel. Likely could get that same card back in our original pack on the wheel, but this is one I'm fine playing a couple copies of. Especially because we have 2 Stalked Researcher. That really increases our chances of turning this into a creature more often than not. And that's something that is quite relevant when we have a Planeswalker that possesses ninjutsu and a card we can flash in that rewards us for getting in combat damage. Okay, there's an Innocuous Rat, which I don't think that we're going to play. Like, that's not something I really want to go out of my way to put in the deck. Or there's a Miasma Demon, which I also don't care much about. I guess I'll take this card. Kind of cutting black, I guess. And our original pack comes back. We end up seeing a Shroud Stomper, which would have been really cool if we were not deep into blue and we were instead deep into black. But I guess I'll take this Winter's Intervention. With the 2 Centipede and the Moldering Gem, this could make our deck. But it was probably the card that we least wanted to come back. Not as good as splashing a Murder, even though this is double pipped. Or as good as another Slimy Aquarium, which is like almost fixing when you think about it. Because it lets you look at 2 cards and really makes your opening hands better. But there's a Glimmer Burst, which I don't like that much in these style of decks. But because we have the 2 Researcher, it does get a little bit better. I just, most of the time, don't feel like green decks really need card advantage. Because typically you're playing green to get to the late game, unless you're in a really aggressive red-green deck. And just trying to outvalue people with your built-in value engines and your bomb rares, right? Which we already have with the Curiosity and the Kaido. So, like, the card draw just doesn't really mean much to us, but it is just a overall good card and a card that creates a chump blocker for us at instant speed, which is somewhat relevant when you go against these more aggressive decks that have a good matchup versus us. And on top of that, it's also just instant, and that's really important because instant is oftentimes the more difficult card type for me to put in the grave. And then we get a green Land Cycler here. We very well could end up playing both of these, which I wouldn't mind. Hopefully, going into pack 3, we're able to get deeper into green here, since green was a little bit closed off in pack 2. Because I really want to be playing at least 9 green sources to get access to that fixing. Pendage Amalgam never going in our deck. I guess I'll just take this rare land. Like, this Neglected Manor would be cool to play a Shroud Stomper, but I just don't see us really having the justification to do that. Our deck doesn't need any more power. It needs interaction and consistency. Oh, baby, there's a Funeral Room Awakening Hall. I actually played with this card recently and it was fine, but it wasn't as game-breaking as I thought. Because, like, honestly, most of the time, it doesn't flip the table on your opponent. It just kind of gives you a chance to get back. And if your deck isn't overall already good, it doesn't make it better. It's kind of like if you already have like really high quality bombs in your deck, It makes your deck a little bit win more. There's a Fear of Isolation here, which is really strong. And there's also a Patchwork Beastie. This is a tough decision. I mean, I have 4 enchantments and just like bouncing stuff back is good. This is tough. It's hard to say which one of these is better. I don't think our deck takes that much of an advantage from playing the Fear of Isolation as other decks do, but it's still a fine card. Okay, there is an Unable to Scream, which is the exact piece of interaction I was looking for. It's an enchantment for our stocked researchers. It's also 1 mana, which means we don't have to give up our turn where we want to be playing a creature and pressing our advantage, while also interacting with our opponent, which is exactly what these kind of decks are looking to do. It's also just a good way to protect our Kaido, so that was an awesome pickup here. Okay, there's a Cathartic Parting. I like that a little bit. Our deck is somewhat good at like digging through. There's also a Get Out though. And I think with what we have right now, Get Out is pretty good. You know, we have the Underwater Tunnel. We have the Moldering Gym Weight Room. And we just have ETBs. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Get Out. I already have the Insidious Fungus to interact with Artifact Enchantment. Okay, there's a blue-black land. That's pretty good for us. That's kind of what we're really just looking for. In terms of our interaction, do we care about this second murder? We have 1 Unable to Scream, a Stay Hidden, Stay Silent. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have a decent amount of interaction already. It's not really groundbreaking for us to get this next murder, although I think it would help our deck with how good our mana is already. But I just want to take this. It adds more justification to splashing these cards. Ooh, okay. There's a Cursed Windbreaker. That's a card I'm willing to play for sure. How much Manifest Dread do we have this far? Yeah, I don't think we have that much to where we really care about the Crypt Inspector and like wasting a somewhat early pick on. And the Cursed Windbreaker I just like a lot because flying really helps you break stalemates. Since outside of blue, there's not a lot of flying in the format. Okay, how many rooms do we have? We only have 2. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I really care that much about this Smoky Lounge Misty Salon. I guess there's a Commune with Evil. Is that really worth splashing? It can allow us to dig through our deck, which I don't hate. And there's also like a Spectral Snatcher, which I do like more than, you know, the Green Land Cycler. But I just don't like playing a Land Cycler from a color I'm splashing into. I don't know if we're going to play this Commune with Evil, but maybe. Take this Derelict Addict, I guess. Oh, baby. We're getting a late Drag to the Roots? Are you kidding me? Sign me up for that. I mean, that's exactly the kind of interaction we're looking for. And then we get a green-black land for free? That is great. Wow. So our mana base just became insane without possessing a single Terramorphic Expanse. How often do you see that? Get a late found footage or a erratic apparition. I don't think I'm likely to play either of these cards. Our deck just doesn't care that much about Delirium. And that's going to be the draft. So overall, nothing crazy, but, you know, we do just have a very well-balanced deck with a Kaido and Enduring Curiosity to win in the late game, alongside some pretty decent interaction. So I think this one will go fairly well. Just a little bit light on the 2-drops, of course. I only have 2 rooms in this deck, so I don't think, like, this card is really that good. And I end up with 3 lands. That's pretty nice. Is there any other card that I think is fine? That card's fine. That card's fine. Let's see what we really need here. We really just needed 2 drops. We have 3 2 drops. Stick has 11 creatures. Okay. I almost don't really care that much about the Moldering Gym weight room. It's fixing, but I have 2 Centipede and I have as well just lands galore. I have 3 lands, which is nice. But I guess it's something to like do with our mana, which is pretty nice. I like Commune with Evil, but our deck doesn't care that much about Delirium to be wasting a turn not doing anything. We have a lot of 4-drops, surprisingly. Could just like cut Glimmerburst. I don't hate that. Then maybe cut that. A little bit light on creatures, but the deck doesn't look bad. I've got these land cyclers, but I just don't really like using that for that purpose, like solely. It's kind of a weird situation because like I do want to get double blue. Yeah, not having a second black is just kind of sus because I have no way to get it back. This seems fine. 9 green, 8 blue, 5 swamp. I mean, maybe I should just cut one of these. Yeah, I'm just going to hope to draw a second black to be able to fix our mana. One second, let me make a phone call. Yeah. Just text me. I'm doing something right now. Yeah. It's going okay. I had a couple videos posted. Over the World Championship this weekend. So try for some people. Yeah, there's this guy named Kai Buddha. He's considered the best person of all time. He's won won 7 Pro Tours, which like, and he's been playing since the beginning. And the next person who's won the most amount of Pro Tours is 40. Because winning a Pro Tour is like really unlikely. Because you have to like, I mean, you're a professional, you're getting paid to be there. And this guy, this guy, he like kind of like took a break from the game like the past few years. Like he's like 42 or something. He's like the same age as my brother. But he got diagnosed with like terminal cancer, and that he has like a year to live. So he like retired from his job, and he like he just said he's gonna like spend money to like travel and enjoy the rest of his life. But so he prepared for this like last world championship, and he like won his final match like barely. It was a win-in match, decided who would be in top 8 of worlds, and the guy he was playing was a French guy who won the world championship last year, and he like barely beat the guy by like an insane top tech. It was like Surgical Goblin versus Chief Pat in the finals, when the guy like, had a tower of one, and he got in at 8th place based off tiebreakers. So just like the fact to like come back after like not really like topping for the past couple of years, you just get top 8 at worlds, like probably the last world that he'll be able to play in before he like dies. That's just like insane. That's just like inspiring. He's the only, after that top 8, he's the only person to have ever topped a premier level event in 4 decades. I know. That's like crazy. What I wanted to do is I've been wanting to make like a documentary, basically on like the interviewing like the best people across like all card games, and just like do like a profile over like all those people, and just like have them talk about like what it takes like it's the high level. And I wanted to do one with that guy before he like becomes too ill, but like his Twitter is like I can't message him unless he follows me. And he's from Germany, so it's like I'm trying to like contact someone that can get me in contact with him, because I saw him like do another interview with someone else. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be trying to get out immediately, because I want to get like some of the best people to ever play like Pokemon, Magic, and like Yu-Gi-Oh. Just like the people who have like done the most of all time. I play old school Yu-Gi-Oh. I It's becoming really popular now. Like a lot of people are getting back into like older formats and holding tournaments for it. But like, you did what? Oh yeah, that's cool. What game does he play? Uh huh. Oh, he plays Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, we could play some games, like record some videos on the channel. I do too. Yeah, you have to give him my phone number or something. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm working on ordering another camera soon to like be able to like have like a good setup for it and redo my office. But I gotta go in a second. I'll talk to you in a bit. But the doctor guy that I was working for, he said he's gonna try to like give me like more videos to work on to like help me out, because he like has this money saved up to like build a church. And I was telling him like I can't really work on the videos. You have to work on applying for jobs. And he was saying that like he could maybe afford to pay me like $1,000 a month. We do like a video every week. So that could like be good for me, because then if I get like one other gig, then I just be like that's all I need. Yeah, but I'll talk to you in a little bit. Just text me. I'll probably be done in a couple hours. Alright, sorry guys. Had to take a phone call there. So, I think I'm just going to play one swamp. That seems kind of bad because I have 3 ways to search it. And I need a double black to play this murder. But I also have 3 duels. So, it's like somewhat likely I'm going to be able to access it. And if I just can't play this murder, it's not like I'm going to lose the game. We'll see. Depending on how it goes. Because I feel like I just need double blue early for this get out and this twist reality. So I don't really want to cut one of those sources. And I don't want to go down to double green. Because I don't want to be in a situation where I want to play a centipede on 3. And because of that, I have to use this branch snapper on turn 2. And just forego developing. Because I think that's like really bad. So we're going to try it like this. Alright, so we ended up with a pretty interesting blue-green splashing black deck featuring Kaido, Bane of Nightmares, one of my favorite cards to come out of this set, the only ninjutsu planeswalker ever printed, as well as an enduring curiosity. The mana on this deck is a little bit sus, but we do have 3 duels and 2 Spineseeker Centipedes, so hopefully we're going to be able to get there anyway. But let's go ahead and hop into these games. I believe, baby. I believe. Believe in the boat, baby. Time to work. Alright, starting off on the play here. A little bit of a slow hand, but I do have a dagger maw to find a blue. I think I'm just going to keep. Because our green mana gets us access to our fixing. And we're on the play, so I can be a little bit greedy here. Surprisingly, like, having 3 duels actually didn't end up being as insane for our mana base as I thought. And it's because we just didn't get that many green cards. Like, all the green cards we were offered are super impactful. But we just have way more blue than green, which is like not where you want to be in these decks. Get another green source. Okay. Opponent starts with a turn 1 Optimistic Scavenger, arguably the best 1-drop in the game. Does he have the Elegant Rotunda Grand Entryway? He does. I hate this guy.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Bro, anytime I draft these 2 cards, I don't get to do this, but I swear, like 70% of the time, when someone has this card on 1, they have this on 2. And this combo is like so broken. I feel like when you resolve this combo on the play, it's about an 80% chance that the other person just can't win the game. It's actually just disgusting. This is so slow, bro. This is so bad. Oh my gosh. Now he just flips this and has a 4/4 and a 3/3, and I just die. Well, he's not doing that. That's crazy. This guy's a mad lad. On Jase, brother. Okay, that top deck makes this feel a little bit better. Oh, fuck. No, it doesn't. I don't have a black.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yeah, I thought that would have been better. It was not. I mean, our opponent just had the cheesiest combo in the game. There's not a lot we could say there. Retry. Double blue. Aw, this hand's so sus. Gosh, dude. I think I have to maul. At least I have a land cycler, I guess. Probably just get rid of the twist reality. Twist reality is just like budget get out, and get out's just great. Bro, please don't do the scavenger combo again, turn 1. He has the scavenger combo again. Are you kidding me, bro? This guy is such a high roller, dude. All right, if he plays Grand Shui Elegant Rotunda, I'm gonna be so triggered. Bro, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? That is so toxic, dude. 2 games in a row. He has the exact same... Like, this is legitimately the most oppressive thing on turn 2 to do in the format. And he has it 2 games in a row. And he didn't even have to mull? That's fucking insane. Honestly, even if I drew perfect mana sources, I don't know that anything would, like, be able to combat that. Like, that is just so oppressive, man. I don't even know what to say. I kind of need the body, but it doesn't even matter because he just gets his guy and I just, like, suck a dick. Like, I'm just fucked. This card is so broken. In conjunction with this other specific card that our opponent has drawn 2 games in a row. Why can I never do this? Okay, once again, this guy just doesn't do the broken play, but okay. Unlock your stupid Rotunda, guy. Unlock it. I'll wait. I know, you opened Exodia. It is what it is. This guy just opened Exodia 2 games in a row. This may legitimately be, like, the only 2 good cards in this guy's deck. Wow, that is... I mean, that's just game. Wow. It's crazy how this combo is just like a turn 2 Exodia. Like, I don't know that there's anything that beats that. If you don't have an immediate answer, you're just dead. Maybe he just won't have any other enchantments, and I might, like, get 1 turn. Damn. Turn 2 Exodia, 2 games in a row. That guy is just the best person alive. He should have played in the World Championship. Is it crazy that I have 150 drafts in this format, or around that number, and have never gotten to do that combo, which involves an uncommon and a common? I think it's just because, like, I don't get to draft white. Like, I could have forced white in that draft, and it genuinely would have just made us end up with a worse deck. I would have had an Optimistic Scavenger and Inquisitive Glimmer, and those would have been the only 2 powerful cards we would have had. And that's why I just don't like blue-white. Like, that guy's deck was not a black deck. It was white was completely open in my draft, and I had all white cards. White-blue decks are basically just primarily white. And so if you're not, like, getting all white cards, you're kind of cooked. Wow, this is, like, unplayable. That was really sad. Damn. Either of those cards would have been excellent for us. Going down to 5 is so rough. I'm probably just supposed to get a black before we mill it. I kind of just want to hold this. This feels pretty bad, but okay. That could have been a lot better. Hitting a land here was just so huge. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That might get us back in the game. This is kind of weird because, like, I do want to play this, but I'm going to Manifest Dread it. When I get this back, it's kind of a good card. If he just flips that, I'm going to press my advantage so much. No. This is a tough situation. I attack with 2. I should probably do this. Maybe I was supposed to Manifest Dread. I don't know. I just didn't want to mill this, because if the Enduring Curiosity lives, I just give it flying after he attacks. That was gross. Okay. little bit BM milling that card, but whatever. Oh my gosh, this guy is such a dirty high roller. I repeat, we have a dirty high roller alert. Dirty high roller alert. Someone sound the alarm. The dirty high roller alert has been activated. Wee woo, wee woo. We go against turn 1 optimistic scavenger Exodia guy into this guy. This is almost more painful because this guy's beating us down with a terrible card. Oh, never mind. He has a broken card. I mean, that's just busted. I have a Kaido, and it doesn't matter because our opponent has an insane deck with an Overlord, which is the best Overlord in the format, and arguably the best Mythic in the format, in both Constructed and Standard, and in Draft. To be fair, though, we did go down to 5 that game. Like, if we didn't have to go down to 5, I think we could have beaten that guy, because I wouldn't have been behind. It's a keep. Maybe I can bait him with this. No. Fuck a crab. I'm just trying to beat the case. I hate this card so much. It's like legitimately only good when you go against a specific person. And when you go against a person like me, it is actually busted. I can't allow him to get a reduction. This guy's deck is too good for him to get a reduction. Okay, that was based. Wombo combo. Alright, well, he has to have, like, a trap in the screen. He has a meat locker. Okay, that doesn't really matter. This is a static effect. It's a static defect, Buster Douglas. It's a static defect. I think I just go ninjutsu control. How does he out my Kaido? He's not, okay. Hopefully he doesn't draw his Overlord. Okay, that's really good. That's actually really nice. Man, if we would have drawn... Oh, dude, that hurts. If we would have drawn a land here, it'd be so nice. He's taking it? Wow. Nice. Okay. Surveil, draw, hold the counter. It's actually kind of big. Because now I have a counter if he plays Overlord. And if he doesn't, I just bounce my Slimy Aquarium to turn on my Researcher. Oh, I didn't realize he's exactly at 13 for his untapped land. That was pretty good. Heyo. And I still can -2 next turn, so like, how are you stopping lethal, buddy? Kaido is the real deal, baby. Don't disrespect the Kaido. Get your shit-ass crab out of here, bro. You're not decking me out. I'm at 14 cards. I'm winning the game next turn. Okay. Okay. I don't have a room. Sorry, buddy. GG's, brother. GG's, brother. GG's. Shebang. Yeah, that was really scary. I mean, that just shows how good Kaido is. I wouldn't win that game without Kaido. It's funny because this guy, like, thought that the Scrabbling Skullcrab would deck me out, but it's like, our deck isn't that good at milling. Scrabbling Skullcrab is only good if the guy's already down to 10. If you play it on turn 1, it's like, okay, it's only good if your goal is just to use it as a roadblock and not as a way to, like, mill the guy. Because the guy's just going to get Delirium and then kill your thing. It's tempting to play like an addict, but like I don't think our mana base can support it. Okay, that load-in was randomly fast, but okay. Sadly, I think this is the best hand we've drawn thus far. I forgot why this guy's playing green. Survivor. Okay. I could just stun his guy, but then he just keeps getting effects, and that's bullshit. Which, that really sucks, actually. Wow. At least I have double black, so if we draw a murder, it's just online. I just need him not to have a removal, but he probably has a drowned diner. This guy is a drowned diner ass bitch. Okay, he is that guy. Cool. No answer, please. No hablos answer. Oh. What the heck? Okay. That was weird, but sure. I kind of feel like I'm forced to just tap his Silent Hall Creeper forever. I could hold this to block that, but I think I just need to get rid of this. This card's just too pushed. Next turn I can Dread, which isn't great. He's not attacking with the Survivor, which is good. Okay. Well, that's kind of good. That's a guy. He does things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to push in for damage with this Curiosity. He would have to draw pretty bad for that, because we know he has an Overlord. It's getting scary. No. He's going to destroy my room. Don't do it, you vile fiends. He didn't do it. Okay. He's a bitch. He didn't do it. He's a bitch. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with this. If I draw a murder, I'm going to be so mad. Okay, I didn't draw a murder. Cool. I thought the auto tapper was going to cuckold me, but I actually lived to see another day. It feels kind of bad to use this Drag to the Roots on his 2/3 flyer. At least thus far, we haven't seen an exile removal for our Curiosity. But if he has the Overlord here, it's probably just Wraps. Okay. That's busted. Busted. You want to trade? I'd like to trade. I would love for you to trade. Okay, that's interesting. I kind of just want to get this out. But, like, there's something to be said about attacking and then activating the ability. Just activating this, forcing a trade. Drawing 2 cards could get us back in the game, maybe. Kind of want to kill that guy. I don't know. This is weird. Alright, that was based. Don't fuck with a man who has a jacket. Never fuck with a man who has a jacket. Damn, I actually think this might be better. This legitimately might be better because it pops his fear of isolation and then I just don't have to worry about it. I think that's actually just better. And then I just remove the jacket. You know what they say? If he's got a jacket, he's got to go. That's some prison slang. Because if you have a jacket, it means you did an offense that involved a minor. And so everyone else in the prison is going to try to kill you. You want to trade? I'd like to trade. Yeah. Megalodonk. Megalodonk. It's crazy we're actually close in life totals. You would think that he would be up so much. No, do not flip into an overlord. If you flip into an overlord, I will be forced to appeal to the head judge, bypassing the greedy level 2 judge. I don't want to do it. He's flipping into an overlord. I already know it. It's an overlord. It's 2 creatures. I knew it. It's an overlord.
I fucking knew it. Oh!
It's an overlord. I already knew it, brother. You don't even got to tell me. Is he that guy? It's an overlord. I need a murder here. Easy murder all day. The top deck, I believe. That is not the top deck I requested for. That is not the top deck I requested for. No, no. If it's actually the overlord, I'm going to be so cheesed. Because why else would he put that guy in the graveyard? Why else would he keep on top? There's nothing in this situation that puts him back in this game state unless it is the overlord. Oh no, just grab. Wait, bro, what?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
This guy legitimately kept a skull crab when I'm pressuring lethal over this guy who can attack me? That is just fundamentally ass. Why would you do that? What the fuck? That wasn't cool. I'm worried this guy can deck me. I'm just going to pass. I don't want to get decked by the crab. I'm scared. I still have a Kaido. The Kaido is in deck. If we hit the Kaido, we're just balling. He doesn't have it. Let's go. Kaido, Bane of Nightmares. Back in action, baby. You know how we be, son.
Ah,
You know how we be, brother man. Brother man, we're out here doing it to him. Like it's Innistrad all over again. Man, I miss original Innistrad. It actually hurts me so much that they've made multiple Innistrad sets that are nowhere near in comparison of fun or like power as the original Innistrad, and they try to pass them over. Like even last year, they tried to have this event at all local game stores called the Thanksgiving Draft. It's cool. You get to draft from 3 different spooky sets, and it's just all the ass Innistrad sets that no one gave a shit about. Literally over 3 Innistrad sets they made, there was 1 usable card, and it was Meat Hook Massacre. Other than that, there was no card you could pull that was worth more than $5. And then they banned the Meat Hook, which lowered like the only value in those 3 Innistrad sets to $0. It's like, damn. The original Innistrad was so gas. It had Snapcaster. It had Garruk Relentless, which was good at the time. It also had, I believe, Court of Calling. It had Parallel Lives. It also had Liliana of the Veil. Like, it was just the best set of all time. And that's why a box is $1,000 for some reason. It's crazy because I started in new Phyrexia Innistrad, and that is probably the best block of all time in terms of power creep. And shortly after, we got Khans, which fundamentally changed Modern forever because we got fetches. But like new Phyrexia had Karn, and that was like the best card in the format for years. Enduring Curiosity looks solid. Not sure if it's spoopy enough for my Umezawa deck, though. I don't know what Umezawa does, but I'm assuming it's a commander card. Enduring Curiosity is insane, and I would recommend getting them now because that card is only going to go up over time. It was literally used in so many decks, that and Kaido in the World Championship. It's going to be a staple in Standard for the next 2 years at least. So this is a sus hand, but I have a Land Cycler. I don't know. It could be worse. Yeah, Enduring Curiosity is one of the best cards in the format now. It's like just the best draw engine, especially when paired with Kaido. That's why I was like ecstatic that we got them in the same deck, because those 2 cards together are broken. Because you can ninjutsu in a Kaido and then flash in a Enduring Curiosity and you just draw a bunch of cards. Like blue-black is insane right now. Bro, why do I have to listen to this guy's dog panting? That's so stupid. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. I needed that blue. Oh, it gives all creatures in your hand ninjutsu? Oh, that's insane. Yeah, Kaido is just so broken. Oh, Alchemy version is strictly better. See, I've only played Alchemy on a handful of occasions. Just because, like, I'm the kind of... I don't really have an issue with Alchemy. There's actually been times where I enjoyed it. I think it's probably the best way if you care about ranked. Dude, can I turn off this guy's fucking dog? I can literally hear him breathing. Sorry about that. But, like, there's been a handful of times where I actually liked Alchemy. One of which is when they came out with the Squirrel card. I think my favorite one is that red-green guy who gives intensity. But overall, I'm just a person who prefers high power level formats. And Alchemy is usually the lowest power level. and also the lowest, like, speed format. So I just don't like it for that reason. But they've made some bangers over the time. I think where they go wrong with Alchemy is they make the cards too fair. Like, they come up with some really cool designs, like the guy who shuffles the power 9 into your deck, or the guy who adds all 3 Tron lands to your deck. But those cards are just a tad too underpowered to where they're not good enough to be played. And I think Alchemy is the format where they should be taking the risk of trying to make busted cards, because if they're too busted, they can instantly adjust them. And there's not that many people who play Alchemy already, so you might as well take a risk and see if you can do something that people like, than sit there and be like, oh, I don't know, it'd be too powerful. Alchemy is supposed to go 20 turns. It's supposed to go 20 turns, guys. Surprisingly, that was actually a tough decision there, because I could, if I had chosen the land, and I draw a blue, I could get out, return this back to my hand, then I have a black available for my Kaido, and then I also bounce the underwater tunnel, and that would have been fine. Oh, my opponent just main decks a Pyroclasm? What the hell?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Timeless sounds fun. I love Timeless. Timeless is the only format I play. I recently got into Standard because I built a Golgari Reanimator deck that I'm going to make a video on soon. But normally I only play Timeless because I come from a Yu-Gi-Oh background. As you can see, in the background I have, like, basically all around my office is just mats I've won from major Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments over the years. But, like, Yu-Gi-Oh is so high power level compared to Magic. Timeless is, like, the closest thing for me. And I really enjoy the elementals like Fury and Grief and Solitude. And that's why I like Timeless, because my favorite deck is the Elemental Beanstalk deck. Because it feels like you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if you're using a Beanstalk while you have an Elemental, you're basically paying no cost to play your cards. And I enjoy that a lot. What am I supposed to do here? This is a very weird situation, because I've drawn all my green sources, and I've drawn none of the green cards that allow me to fix my mana. Yeah, I've made multiple videos on Timeless in the past. I also really like the Scam deck. People don't like Scam, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It also just punishes people for keeping greedy hands where they only have one combo piece. Because the only thing I don't like about Timeless is there's so many show and tell Kumers. Like, all these fucking guys are sitting there with their show and tell Omniscience, and they're just jacking off in one hand and playing Omniscience turn 2 in the other, and it's so toxic. It's a commander deck, that's what I assumed. But yeah, everyone in your area only plays Commander, me too. It's because Wizards fundamentally ruined the game because they started undercutting local game stores, which are forced to buy products from a distributor to stay in tournament standing, and then they sell those boxes to Amazon for way cheaper. So what ends up happening is when they undercut those people just buy boxes on Amazon, don't spend money in the store, and then the store is forced to just stop holding tournaments because they don't want to be forced to buy this product anymore and just go neg. So, like, in my area, no one plays any format besides... I actually live in an area with, like, 5 card stores within 40 miles, and no one plays a constructed format outside of Commander, and I just don't want to play in a tournament for Commander. I don't think Commander is a game where you should be playing in a tournament. I don't think that it's, like, really enjoyable that way. Because the entire purpose of the format is to have fun with your friends and dictate the power level based on what your friend group likes. And I just want to play 60 cards. And I would actually buy a Magic deck because I would drastically prefer if I could, I prefer to make IRL content. If there was a local game store that consistently played Standard or Modern, I would actually just go there and do IRL vlog videos, and that would be the main thing I would do. I probably would only stream on Arena and just only make IRL videos. But because I have to drive over 140 miles to go play in person, it's not worth it for me. Like, because like a standard deck is still super expensive. And that's part of the reason why it's like, every once in a while, my brother, he's 18 years older than me. And he has like kids and shit now. So, and he lives like 2 hours away. But he'll come down and visit me. And we'll get to play Magic maybe like once every 2 months. And I would buy a standard deck just to play against him for fun and record the matches. But when a standard deck is $300 and I don't have the opportunity to use it versus anyone in a tournament, and then it's just going to rotate out, like, why would I do that? It's fundamentally not fun. Omniscience is in Foundations. That's fucked. I don't know what the rationale is behind that decision, but it sounds stupid. They were probably just like, you know what? Let's just make the game not fun. Next thing, they're going to put show and tell in there. Yeah, no, I was thinking about making a video on the Universes Beyond stuff because I've heard a lot of people talk shit on that, and I'm known for just calling out people on BS, and that does just make it less fun because it's like, why do I want, because like imagine if the best card in the format is SpongeBob, and you're like, I'm playing a Demir deck with Kaido and Enduring Curiosity, but it's like centered around SpongeBob. How the fuck does that make any sense? Like, if the best cards in Standard are going to be from Universes Beyond, it's just going to make the game overall less fun. If the Universes Beyond cards are only cards that are new, I'll be okay with it. But this is what I don't like. So a lot of the Universes Beyond stuff is just reprints of older cards. And I don't like that because part of what makes Magic irritating now is that people have all of these different alt art cards that look like other cards they aren't actually. Like recently in the Pro Tour, I think it was the Modern Horizons Pro Tour, people were using the alternate art version of Dryad Arbor, which looks like a forest. And this guy had it in the back row, and so it made it seem like he had a land, but he actually had a creature. So because of that, the other guy didn't know that he had a creature and he lost the game because he did a different play. And I just think that's fucked. Like, people will be like, well, he needs to look at his board. It's like, you shouldn't have to have that as a problem. And that's why I don't like people who use these alternate art lands. Like, the alternate art lands from Innistrad are so stupid, dude. Because they basically just look like all black. They look like all black basics. And you're like, oh, you have a black? It's like, no, sorry. I actually had a red. You die. It's like, why do I have to worry about that? When this guy has his lands in certain stacks, and all I can see is that his card looks black, it should be black. And that's what's going to, where I have an issue with the Universes Beyond, is that certain cards are going to be reprints of other cards, and you're going to think that it's not that card. And I don't like that. I don't think anyone likes that. That's like the biggest issue for me. And don't get me wrong, there are other issues associated with it, but that's a big one. And that's why people don't like foils. Like I like foils as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, but Magic people don't really like that kind of stuff. Only Commander players, but competitive people hate that shit. Yeah, no, see, like, it's different. It's, like, based on the thing. Because it's like, you know, Lord of the Rings is kind of, like, the same theme. It's the overall same theme, right? But when you start adding in fucking Fortnite and SpongeBob, it's, like, not even the same game. It's, like, it's just fucking weird. It's, like, these themes. Like, the Spider-Man set is just gonna be so weird. And the other thing that's ass about it is they use it as an excuse to do all these DEI things. It's like, okay, I said this before, I'll say it again, but like all of these woke ass people found their way into a position of power like community manager roles like years ago, and now they're just forcing their beliefs on other people because no one like listened to them because they're not reasonable people. And they're like, okay, so we need to make Aragorn black because we need to appeal to black people. And it's like, that is the most blatantly racist thing you could be doing. It's like, there's only two ways that someone is going to look at this. They're not going to look at the card and be like, oh my gosh, I'm black, he's black, I feel included. There's already black characters in Magic. There always has been different races. And in Lord of the Rings, the races of the characters are a big thing. There's all the dwarfs and the elves and stuff. So when you're changing these base characteristics, all it does is if a person knows what Lord of the Rings is, they're going to be like, oh, damn, why the fuck did they change this character that I'm really fond of? Or they're going to be like, I've never watched Lord of the Rings. I don't really care about you changing what this looks like because I didn't know what that was. I don't feel included because you changed the race of this person. I'm just going to look at it and be like, okay, is this card good or is it ass? It's ass. Okay, I'm not playing it. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, Ronnie, I feel so good right now. I'm in Magic. It's like, no, you're fucking not. This is a character from Lord of the Rings. It's not you. It's the same thing with like Disney trying to like push Black Panther. It's like, dude, Black Panther just isn't that cool. I don't know anybody whose favorite Avenger is Black Panther. He's not that interesting. Like, if you want to add in more DEI people and put focus on people, there are plenty of dope-ass characters that are black in Marvel. Why do you have to choose Black Panther? Like, I feel like Black Panther is kind of like borderline stereotype. But yeah, I could go on and on about that stuff and just get canceled. But that's why my certain videos that I post are shadow banned. I think the only place for Universes Beyond is the secret layers that they make for Commander, right? And mainly, it should just be commanders, right? Because the thing is, like, if it's your commander, it's not really a big deal because that starts outside of your deck. I know what that is. That's like a different thing. When it's in your deck, it's like kind of weird because that's my thing about Commander and why I don't want to get into it because I don't like having to like, I already like, I don't have much experience with modern cards and I have even less experience with older cards. So when I'm playing, I don't want to like go to the tournament and play with people in Commander matches because I don't want to have to worry about learning what 4 other people's 100 card singles in deck do, right? So I don't understand this push to like milk Commander because Commander is just people who buy packs for fun. That's all they care about. They don't care about the people playing in tournaments. They're just like, oh, we want to capitalize on these people who are collectors, which honestly just makes the game worse. And they wouldn't have to worry about that if they just worked on like building off of their own IP. The reason why they're focusing on Commander is because they just did a shit job of building their own IP. Because the thing is in Magic, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or One Piece where people are associated with the IP. People have traditionally seen Magic as the competitive card game. Most people who play it because they like the game, not because they're attached to the cards. And when you think of what the most iconic cards are in Magic, it's not because there's lore associated with them, which can also be true. But for the most part, it's because it's an iconic card that was broken. For example, I'm pretty sure the most iconic card in Magic is Black Lotus in the Power 9. It's not like there's any lore behind ancestral knowledge. It's just broken. And that's why people like associate the game with that. And they could have just been building off of that and just using like reprints to really like get people to buy packs, you know? Like it doesn't just have to be cards on the list, but there's a ton of cards where it's like, okay, we could have been reprinting Birthing Pod in these treatments. We didn't have to focus on Commander. But now they've just gone over the edge and it stopped a lot of people from playing because they've realized they don't care about the people who are actually playing the game. We know that when they printed Nadu. Like, who the fuck thought Nadu was a good idea? That is just strictly, and they're like, we're going to make it for Commander. It sounds even more toxic in Commander. There's even more broken combos in Commander for Nadu. I completely agree with you, Sulfur. I don't know who wants to play in a Commander tournament. The entire point of Commander is that you can play with your friends and associate whatever power level you guys want to play with to cater the experience to you. That's why it doesn't matter if there's a ban list. People are like, oh my gosh, I saw this guy on Twitter, and he was literally like saying that he was, whenever the bans happen, he was like, my wife just used all of our money that we had saved up in our savings account to buy me the best Christmas gift I've ever had or birthday, and it was a mana crypt. And now Wizards has completely thrown that away, and we're out of money. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter if the card gets banned. Why the fuck is your wife using your savings account to buy you a flattened papyrus square that you guys can't afford? Like, that's just dumb. Like, you're just an idiot. And now you want to blame that on other people because you can't make more money. I don't know. Like, the ban list doesn't matter because 99% of people who play Commander will never go to a Commander tournament. And I don't even know if there are sanctioned Commander tournaments for Wizards. I'm pretty sure, like, I've only heard of ones at the local game store. And even if you wanted there to be a ban list, like, fundamentally, Commander isn't really set up for there to be a ban list, because how can you reasonably expect the playtest team, when a new card comes out, to go test it with every single card that's legal in Commander and be like, okay, does this work? No, there's obviously always going to be, when a new card comes out, if it's at least somewhat not, like, stupid, there's always going to be something that breaks it, right? Like, because there's just so many cards. So why is there a ban list? Oh, because we want to be able to make money off of this. By creating a ban list, we can create artificial scarcity and ban certain alternatives to cards that we don't want to reprint, so we can make money off of reprinting other cards. The thing is about the CDH events is those events are based on the local game store. Like, they have certain, like, expectations. So when you go to the CDH tournament, you know that everyone's playing. Like, at my local game store, I have a friend who played in the CDH tournaments a lot, and they had, like, a thing there where everyone's just using proxies, and everyone's okay with it, because that's just, like, down with them, you know? Like, because no one's gonna spend, everyone there is like, I would rather you be able to play with us and actually have more people in the community than you being priced out because you can't afford a $200 mana crypt and a $1,000 volcanic island. And Commander just becomes, like, more and more expensive. I think the biggest issue with Magic right now is that they just print too many sets. It's becoming like Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is why I can't afford to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, even though it's, like, my favorite game. It's changed a lot, so it's, like, fun in a different way. But it's like, okay, in Yu-Gi-Oh!, not many people know this, but there is a new product released literally once every 3 weeks. Is that not insane? There is a new product being released once every 3 weeks. That's literally ridiculous. Who can keep up with that? And it gets even worse when you realize that, oh, okay, if I want to continue playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, there's no vendor within a 100-mile radius of where I live. So what ends up happening is, if I want to keep up with the game, I need to order the newest set on TCG Player the minute it comes out and pay an overpriced premium for it. But by doing that, it takes me 3 weeks to get in my cards, and the quality control of TCG has went down so much after being bought out by eBay that oftentimes every order I make, there's at least one issue with the order. And so I don't even end up getting all of the cards I need for this deck until 4 weeks later because someone didn't send me the card and I had to order it again and wait another 3 weeks. And I can't play the deck without having all the cards, but by the time I receive everything, a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Set has come out and I wasted all that money because now I need these new cards. And so it becomes like a continuous money pit. And that's what's happening with Magic. Like, my friend, he's a dedicated Commander guy, but he doesn't, like, buy cards anymore. He only prints proxies because it's becoming like even too whale for him. And he's a whale. Yeah, 6 standard legal sets is fucking stupid. Who can afford to buy that? And they've also just drastically increased the prices of the boxes. That's why at the panel at the World Championship, everyone was cheering the loudest for when they announced they're bringing back MSRP. Because now that they eliminated this, the whole thing, honestly, one of the big factors of ruining the game was whenever they decided that they're going to add 3 different booster packs. That was the most money hungry, I'm trying to get money up front and not think about long-term thing that you could ever come up with. Like, that was literally ridiculous. Because they overall just made the experience of buying packs, like, stupid. Yeah, because, yeah, the reason why your local game store has to raise the price is because I have friends that own game stores. And basically the way it works is they might have a bottom price from their distributor to buy the boxes at like $90, and they're expected to sell them at $120. But then you can go on Amazon and buy directly from Amazon and get that same box for $80. So what happens is no one buys the boxes in the stores because they can get them cheaper on Amazon, but the store is forced to buy a set amount of product because if they don't, they're not going to be able to be considered a official Wizard store and legally be allowed to run tournaments. So that's why a lot of game stores don't hold tournaments anymore. And it's actually illegal for a game store to order the boxes from Amazon and bypass their distributor. So like a lot of game stores, it used to be back in the day, it was always $100 for a box. Then it went up to $120. And now it's $150 for a box because they removed the bottom draft booster. And what really pisses me off is when they created the 3 boosters, it basically just said, okay, if you're a person who's a casual person and likes to open packs, you can't have fun unless you pay $300 for a box of packs. Because it's not, the whole reason packs is fun is because there's a chance you could get something you want. But when you make these rarities and these chase cards specifically exclusive to a pack that's 3 times the amount of a normal pack, you're basically saying, like, unless I want to specifically draft, I have to buy this other pack because the cards that I actually am interested in opening the pack for aren't available in the standard pack. So it's like a box is $300, and the only people that can afford it are people who are on welfare and are terrible at mismanaging their money. They can't afford it, but they're just bad at managing their money and just addicted to the game, and content creators who are given them for free, used to like entice other people who have a gambling addiction and can't afford it. It's actually really fucked when you think about it. Like, just how that system works, I think it's completely fucked. I've always hated how Wizards is like, we're gonna come after you if you address the secondary market. It's like, no, just be straight up and be honest about like, hey, we made this decision because we think it's gonna make us more money and people would like it more. Like, because a lot of people in my friend group have always told me like, dude, like if you're able to go to this tournament, like you gotta qualify for this because you could win. And a lot of people like in different games I've played are like, who do you think is the best person in the state? Probably John Ashby. And I'm like these are things that other people say about me, but I don't have the money to spend $1,000 on a plane flight to this event and then another $1,000 on this deck that's only going to be usable in this one tournament, so I can't go. And if I was able to like get on the live stream and be interviewed after a feature match, I would just tell them like, yeah, it took a long time to get here. To be honest, like I couldn't afford to play the game because it's like grossly overpriced, and that's not a bad thing. Like I understand you guys need to make money, but just understand that this is widely inaccessible to the average person. Yeah, no, like, I only want to buy singles. But the entire issue is how expensive lands are. Like, I could build a standard deck for like $100, but the issue is the lands to build the deck are $150. When the lands are like 1.5 times the cards in your deck, that is a terrible sign. Like, I always wanted to play Modern, but it's like, okay, no, you need all of these fetches, and the fetches, you need 20 of them. So you're just not going to be allowed to play. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. Playing Eternal format and lands will make you cry. Yeah, dude, I can't even think about playing Vintage. That's why I was like, during the Vintage Cube draft that they were streaming, I was like, bro, so the people that came to this, they don't even, it's not really like the money they're getting from being able to draft all these Vintage Cube cards and keep them means anything to them. Because we all know that in order to like qualify for that event, you had to have so much money that the money doesn't mean anything to you. Especially in this economy. Like, most people can't even afford groceries. So asking for someone to, like, buy 5 standard sets a year is like, bro, why are, like, you would think that they would reduce the amount of sets per year because people can't even afford to buy food. Why would you add I mean, this is widely considered the worst economy the US has had in, I think, 37 years, the past 4 years. And for some reason, they decided to introduce 3 booster packs and a super premium booster pack during this time period. I believe it was like around that time, maybe like a year earlier. And it's like, who can afford this shit? Like, who are the people buying these collector boosters? And also, like, the stores, if they want to be able to buy the boxes people actually will pay for, they have to buy a bunch of the shitty boxes. And that was the other thing. It's like, okay, so I'm being undercut on these collector boosters by $60 from Amazon, but I need to buy them to stay as an official Wizard store. But in order to buy those, I also have to buy multiple cases of draft boosters that literally no one is going to buy, even if they do have the money. Let's be real. The only people that play in CDH tournaments are the same people who have a legacy deck. Like, because, like, you have to have a legacy deck in order to basically play competitive Commander. You should check out the One Piece card game. It's really fun. The One Piece card game was very easy for me to, like, onboard my friends who have, like, never played a card game. That's good that your EDH tournament is proxy friendly. That's how mine is. I just don't enjoy it, so I don't want to play. But I'm saying, like, if you were to go to, like, an actual big tournament, you wouldn't be allowed to do that. And so it's like, all right, basically you have to have been a person who's played the game for 20 years and already has these grossly expensive cards. Or you actually just have to be a person who earns over 100K a year. And if you're in that boat, you're probably good at managing your money and don't want to spend your money on overpriced flattened papyrus squares. Like, for the most part, I don't even think it's people who are making 100K a year or more that are buying collector boosters. I think it's just poor people who are terrible at managing their budget. Like, it's just people who are terrible at, like, their finances, and they're, like, taking out a second mortgage on their house. Because most rich people are rich for one of two reasons. Number one, they work so much that they don't have time to actually, like, go do something like a tournament. Or number two, they're extremely good at budgeting, and they can't justify spending their money on something that doesn't have a real world value. You have a few decks, that's cool. Yeah, I mainly made One Piece videos for the past year, but I got priced out of the game. I actually really enjoyed the One Piece card game, and I was probably, like, one of the main people making videos for it, because I started off, like, making videos for it right when it came out. But I just got priced out of the game because there's no competitive events within, like, a 10-hour radius of me. And also, like, you just can't get in. Because basically what happened is, I used to, like, go record, like, all in-person profiles. I would travel to the events, get deck profiles of, like, the top people, and, like, do everything. And then basically I got pushed out because at the start of set 6, over 50 people from other states came to my pre-release where I had multiple friends who hadn't gotten to play in a long time and were excited to play. And the average turnout of my tournaments was like 12 to 15 people. But because these people literally drove from other states to get there, they bought out all the boxes and the entries to the tournament to where my friends didn't get to enter, who had been working for like 3 months and weren't able to make any of the tournaments they were excited to play. And these people who showed up from other states, they didn't even play in the tournament. They just took the packs and left as soon as round 1 started to cuck the people who actually wanted to play. And multiple of these people abused the system of like 1 box per person. There were 2 people who drove from another state who literally brought their grandmothers so that they could enter them into the tournament. This old lady that's like 80 is asking me like what she's supposed to do, and then she doesn't even play. And these people just take these boxes and these packs, and I never got to buy a single pack. My friend literally worked at the store, and he couldn't even get his hands on a pack. He worked at the fucking store, but these people just continuously bought out the packs. And the way I was able to play the game is that I would make deals with people in the community to get me the cards I need to make these videos. And then because like those people weren't able to get as many packs as they like, no one would even like allow me to get commons. It took me 5 weeks to make my 1 competitive deck in OPO 6 that I only needed commons and uncommons from the set because everyone was hoarding them and wouldn't get rid of them to me. And I just can't afford to order all of the cards from the set on TCG Player and pay a gross amount of money in shipping and like just pay retail price. Like I just can't afford to do that. It's too expensive because there's too many collectors buying out the stuff. So I had to stop playing the game, and people are like, why do you stop playing? It's like, well, I can't afford the game and like not really making money from making content on it. So there's not really any way I can facilitate that, unfortunately. Oh shit, we actually got the W. Let's go. Yeah, I actually topped quite a few events. That was one of the reasons I could keep playing, is because I think I played in a total of like 8 or 9 premier level events, and the worst that I had done in any of those tournaments was 3 losses 1 time. Playing competitive in One Piece wasn't that expensive for a while because it was a seller's market, and basically like I would use the money that I would win from the tournaments to continue fueling my ability to play the game. Like a couple of times, there's one time specifically that like really helped me because these people were like pressuring me to go to this event with them in another state, and I was like, well, I don't really have the money because like I'm in college and like that would cost a lot of money to like pay for this hotel that this guy wanted us to stay at. And so I didn't even have the money to enter this case tournament because it was $40. And I was like, that's a lot of money. You're not even getting anything for entering. And my friend was like, okay, I know you're going to win, so I'll pay for you to enter. So he paid for me to enter, and I won the tournament and gave him some boxes. I was like, all right, I'll win and I'll give you these boxes. So then I just went undefeated and won the tournament. But there were other times where, like, at the premier events I could go to, when you get top 64, you used to get a card that was worth like minimum 500, and I would sell that on the spot, and that would allow me to continue playing. But then they just stopped having events like within a 12-hour radius of me, and I have a sleeping disorder where it's like dangerous for me to drive alone long distances, so I just can't go without flying. And then like the online events, they actually just like, there was just too many cheaters. I stopped playing. Like, I used to like it because you could live stream, and I would have like 30 people watching, and that was cool just to interact with my community and like show off games. But then I just realized like playing online is not enjoyable in any way, because like the only reason I'm playing this card game is to interact with people and like meet new people and try to make them feel like they're more glad that they met me leaving that experience than not, and like, you know, just try my best. But when you're playing online, you remove that person-to-person interaction, and 90% of the people I played against were just not nice people. Like, they didn't actually care about anything except winning money. And I would say about like 30 to 40% of the people I played were actively trying to cheat. And it's like, I already have to spend so much of my brain power thinking about what I'm doing, but trying to make sure you're not cheating when I can't even see your cards in front of you and what you're doing adds like a whole nother layer to it, to where I'm thinking more about making sure you're not cheating than I am actually playing. And it got to a point where this guy, he cheated me 4 times in one game, and I reported him to the judge, and the judge was like, he got the win, and he ended up getting second place, which I would have gotten second place and gotten like $10,000 of stuff that I could have easily flipped, but also just like the accomplishment, which would have meant a lot to me. But the judge said he reported it to the head judge, and he actually didn't. So I made a video about it, and the Bandai people at the time were threatening to ban anyone who was exposing cheating because they didn't want to have any negative backlash on their game. But I was like, no, fuck you guys. Like, I'm going to do this because like this is stupid. These people are continuing to cheat. So I exposed the guy, and then someone from the tournament organizer reaches out to me, and he's like, oh, sorry. The judge that you were with didn't actually report this information to the head judge. We're going to send this to Bandai. And I'm like, dude, I don't care that you send this to Bandai. This guy has already collected his over $10,000 in funds from this. It doesn't matter. And like, I look back at these tournaments, there's all these people who've been exposed cheating. One guy, he was exposed for cheating on 4 separate occasions online, and he legitimately created a new account because he was banned and played again and got caught cheating. And this guy had gotten a 2-round bye to Nats and an invite. And basically, they were like, okay, he's unbanned, and he was lifetime banned, but now he's unbanned, and he's going to be unbanned right before Nats. So he gets to take his 2-round bye into Nats after he's been gotten caught cheating at all of these events over these other people, and he still just gets rewarded with no punishment. And this guy has collected like $50,000 from doing this. I'm like, fuck no. Like, why would I want to do that? Like, that's fucking bullshit. And that's why, like, I don't really put any weight on anyone who tops an online event. Like, topping online does not make you a good player because there's so many of these people who are cheating. All right, I'll see you later, Sulfur. All right, well, that was a pretty good run. Kaido was good when it needed, but the real all-star here was Enduring Curiosity. This card is a banger, and it just won us every game we were able to win with a pretty shafty deck. Turns out I didn't have as good of a mana base as I thought, but we were able to come back with a 2-1 victory, so all is good in the hood, baby. But I've got some other stuff to work on for today, so I appreciate everybody stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. If I don't see you again, Make sure to check out my 2 new videos going over the World Championship drafts over the weekend if you want to get into some more high-level draft content up on Rumble and YouTube. If you're new here, make sure to leave a follow. If you want to see more awesome card game content like this, make sure to smash the like button, turn post notifications on, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another banger. May the Lord bless you, keep you, bestow his countenance upon you, and give you peace. I'll see you guys next time.